Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name is David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
Hello.
and James Farley.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, joined in. Look at this. He paid attention and he joined in. Wonderful stuff. We'd like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, and Tri-State. They are the Full Nels crew. They went to patreon.com/TCGS and they signed up for the Full Nels tier, and we thank each and every one of them. And not only that, we thank everyone that signed up to patreon.com/TCGS. You keep us podcasting. You really do. We would not be doing this. Our partners in crime would not let us continue doing this if it wasn't for the money.
Wow.
Wow. And remember, all right, Matt. Yeah, I've realised as I'm
Jesus.
saying it. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay. All right. Listen. Just cheer up. Get over it.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I think you need to be a bit more sensitive to my situation.
Well, I think I could be what I like on my own damn podcast.
You can't.
There's no need to talk me that.
You can't.
To talk me that. We've got a few bits of news on top of our announcing our Patreon and thanking everyone. We've got a couple of bits of news about the pod. The first being, what is this? Is this a collaboration? Is this what we're billing this as? We've got a collab with Balcony Shirts.
Is it? Oh, I hope it's not Darman.
It's not Darman. I was thinking about Darman the other day, actually. Do you still watch Darman stuff?
No, although the kids occasionally watch it. Although apparently there was a big dust up with all the actors who loads of them left like a while ago. It's
really
because they've all been paid in sandwiches and
they said they weren't being
moved
paid
on to
enough
better things, have they?
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine it was through their performances. Absolutely shocking. Balcony Shirts. We are joining forces with Balcony Shirts. We have had a Spreadshirt web page for our merch over the past how many years? Like 3 years, 4 years, maybe longer.
That.
And
we've had a few.
We've decided to move away because they're a pain in the arse. And also,
postage was ridiculous. We couldn't change that, and
they kept accusing me of stealing a design.
Oh yeah, and also famously, James's face was copyrighted.
yeah. Well, we no longer have that problem. We're joining forces with Balcony Shirts, and our new merch website at www.tcgs.co/store will launch this Friday at 9 a.m. That is Friday the 9th, I want to guess.
Yeah, 9th.
Friday the 9th of August, 9 a.m. Our new merch store will be live, tcgs.co/store. And to mark this amazing occasion, that I'm genuinely excited about this. Like, I'm genuinely happy we're doing this. We are launching, amongst other things, which we'll talk about in a minute, we are launching with the OG t-shirt. The original The Computer Game Show t-shirt that we put on Kickstarter. This was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah,
this one in 2018, 2017, something like that.
Yeah, around that time.
Really popular t-shirt. We feel it's been long enough now off sale to sort of justify bringing it back.
It's vintage now, isn't it?
It is vintage, Matt. It is vintage. And also, Matt and James and myself really want another one.
Yeah.
how's it gone? So
I mean, mine's gone too. I gave it out in EGX one year, so I would also like
but
one.
you asked for it back.
Yeah, I didn't get it back though. So whoever's out there, give it back.
tcgs.co/store. Thanks, Balcony Shirts, for all your work in getting this up and running. The OG t-shirt is coming back. Trust me, you're going to want one. I'm going to buy one. I can't wait for them to go on sale. We will tweet about it and let you know
the
what
other
it's like.
stuff that's going to be on there? There's a
Yes.
few other bits.
Because what's the big return?
Well, there's the big return of the James Farley 90s Dream t-shirt, which he's thrilled about, as you can see.
So for those of you who message, and I won't say names in case, I don't know, I think one of them might be a present for someone. But if you wanted one, then they were back on the store from Friday morning.
Yep, that's coming back. There's a beanie hat with the old school logo on it.
Perfect for summer.
A zip-up hoodie. Well, but people buy it in preparation.
No, good point.
It's getting a bit cooler. been like 19 degrees today, which is chilly.
Actually, it's the first time I've seen you two stream without a hat for a while. Actually,
It is
I
hot.
haven't worn a hat for ages.
No,
oh,
someone
did
me
I not
wears a
know?
hat.
Oh, maybe I just haven't noticed it.
You
I'm
probably
not very
just see
observant.
my really thick hair and assuming that's a beanie hat.
Yeah,
I'm
a
so
zip up
pumped.
hoodie, not a pullover hoodie. Although I would like one, then. But yeah, zip up hoodie. So we're going up in the world.
Buzzing.
Yeah, I'm
There's
really
also
excited
bags
because
as
I
well,
love.
isn't there?
There is
I
a
love.
tote bag.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a tote bag up, have we?
Yeah.
There will be stuff added later on throughout the year, but we really wanted
plans.
to launch, especially with the OG T-shirt. We're excited about bringing that back. Yeah, I've had stuff from Balcony shirts before, and the quality is high quality. So make sure you keep an eye on that. tcgs.co/store on Friday the 9th of August at 9 a.m. That's when we will go live. Last little bit of housekeeping before we move on. TikTok. We all love TikTok, don't we? Us middle-aged white men. We love a bit of TikTok. And we want to actually stream the show to TikTok, to be honest with you, because we're trying to expand. We're trying
I
to...
want to be famous.
And other things,
Dude.
yeah, other streams.
Yeah, we want to be famous in that. And other streams, Matt, you're right. So in order for us to stream the show on TikTok, please follow us. Balls. We've written follow us on TikTok, please, in the notes. But I must admit,
Well, no,
this
no,
is my fault. I'm not blaming
it's
anyone
okay.
else.
It's at TCGS Co on TikTok.
At TCGS Co. So if you're on TikTok, even if you don't want to watch our videos, follow us at TCGS Co. And we need to get to 1,000 followers to be able to stream on there.
Which is a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
We
loads.
would
I need
really
to get
appreciate
in
it if
touch
you did
with
that.
Chen's dad with all his mobile phones.
That's
And
true. Yeah, you can sort us out.
he can
Oh
follow-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But would he ask for a
basically-
fee?
For those interested, all three of you. So basically, Matt found this excellent plugin for OBS that lets you broadcast like a vertical layout at the same time as a horizontal one. So we're streaming currently. We're streaming on Twitch and also on Instagram. Some people are watching on Instagram. If that's what they want to do, that's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. So it seems to work. Nothing's set on fire yet. So the idea is, once we're famous on TikTok, which will take a couple of days, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's that.
We'll start doing the show live on there as well and see how that goes.
Give me
theory.
your money. Hey. Feedback, Matt, from last week's show. And now this is a scary one because last week's show went out as it normally does, and we then spent the next 24 hours going, oh shit, yeah, we were all wrong about everything we said.
Several things.
I think we all got something wrong during the show, didn't we?
I think it was just me and you, wasn't it?
No, James said something. Oh,
got
James,
the-
what did you say?
I got the
wrong?
Life is Strange thing about the canon
Oh, yeah,
ending.
yeah.
Right,
But
so
then
the
I
one
did
you were
try-
scared
That
about
was covered off on the show.
that was covered off on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was Amazon getting rid of same day delivery, and yours, which we'll come to because although I was wrong, I realised my mistake. What was yours, Sean?
Well, we're
mine
going to get
was-
to it. We're going to get to it.
Yeah, should we
No,
just,
no,
we'll
I
just
just
get,
want
we'll
to
just
know
get into the
before we
feedback. It's
Okay,
It was
okay.
it was Pringles related.
was
So yeah,
Pringles
so basically
related.
I was perfect last week. Yes. Gripper Stebson, the cheek of Roland Browning. Feedback episode 412. Calling out Dave over Pringles. I'll be seeing you behind the bike sheds on Thursday morning, boy.
Okay.
We're going to carry on with this.
I love the fact that you went, I was perfect last week, when you could barely read a sentence of the feedback
That's true,
last
yeah,
week.
that was
Matt.
your
That
thing,
really
Matt.
pissed me off, that little comment there. So shove it up your butthole.
This is Grange Hill reference, by the way. I in
Yeah,
case anyone didn't
Gripper
get that.
Stebson. It
I had
was,
to look these up. 'cause I-
Terror of Grey Jill.
Yeah. Although, be seeing you behind the bike sheds, that to me sounds more like a sort of romantic liaison than a...
For me, I think
Battering.
smoking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
that's
wouldn't be
like
having
big
a
on bike
fight
sheds,
there. You'd be having a
Yeah.
fight in the middle of the playground, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
When everyone
Gripper.
gathers around.
Yeah,
you
exactly. Going
Yeah,
fight,
go
fight, fight, fight,
fight.
fight.
And that was just the teachers. Right, go on. Next.
The
That
pond
was always
skater.
really annoying, though, wasn't it, when that
Okay.
happened? Because everyone would start chanting "fight, fight, fight," right? And then it attracted the teachers, and so it was always just like, "Why do you have to do that? We want to see
it
this go the
low-key?
distance." And it's
Yeah,
like, it's
shut
not
up.
gonna-
It's just the plot of Fight
Go
Club,
the
just
distance.
how
You don't need to go to full 12 rounds.
When the police turn up at bank robbery with the sirens going, it's like, no, do it quietly.
exactly. It's like, you know, don't
What's to go the
guns
distance?
in the air. Everyone will
stop
hear it. It's
interrupting
When the
them while
chips
there's
are
cool
down.
stuff going on.
Okay, come on.
The Pond Skater, dear Dave, Matt, Sean. Oh, well, I've done it in a different order. Doesn't matter. Dear Dave,
Could've
Sean,
just
Matt,
carried
and
on.
I know, but I was like, dear Dave, Sean, Matt, and Turok. On last week's podcast, 412 Chips Are Down, during the feedback section, Sean joyfully announced that Pringles aren't crisps. When questioned as to why this is the case, he stated that it's because they aren't made from potatoes. A quick Google search reveals that first on the list of ingredients of Pringles is dehydrated potatoes. Matt, you can say dried if you're still struggling with the big words. Apparently, back in 2008, the Pringles parent company, Procter & Gamble, did claim in court that their snack is not a crisp to avoid VAT being applied. They were successful initially, but after a few years, the judgment was overturned and they were forced to pay back the tax. So according to the courts, Pringles are actually crisps. Yours sincerely, the Pond Skater. And we've got some tweets about this as well.
Do you know
and
what
other
gets me
bits.
about this, Sean, is that you were the guy that pointed out that his name was Julius Pringles, but you didn't know
Was
they
I?
were crisps. Was that not you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, was that Ian? Because he's going to kill me if I don't credit him for that, if he come up with that. But I thought he got that from this show. Julius Pringles was the
I've
name
no
of the
idea.
carrots on the Pringle box.
Is that
Have
true?
I
didn't
dreamt
know
this?
that.
You
I
may
didn't
have
know
dreamt
that.
this.
No. This does ring a bell, but this feels like
We
something we might have
definitely
said like
said this on the
ages
pod.
ago. Yeah, this is something we've said.
Do you mean the guy with the moustache? Like,
No,
on
the
the-
guy. What other guy is on a Pringle box, you idiot? No, I mean the Lionel Messi ones during
sometimes
the
David
World Cup
Beckham and other
editions.
celebrities, David.
No, see, because the thing is, David Beckham is called David Beckham and not Julius Pringles. So I think it might be the guy with the moustache. Yeah,
It's a bad
Yeah, it is
example, but yeah, it's the guy
Julius
with the moustache.
Yeah, obviously, I was wrong about the whole Pringles thing.
Do you want to apologise? Or?
Yeah, I'm very sorry. I can only assume it's
Like
one
you
of those
mean it.
things I like half heard back in, when was it, 2008? Yeah.
Yeah.
And just sort of accepted and never questioned and then repeated for other people to be misinformed
Fake news, mate.
by
Fake news.
fake news.
Yeah? Load of old
Well,
fake
I
news.
think what we're doing, Dave, is quite clever, is by saying things that are incorrect. When this podcast gets scraped for AI content,
Yes, we're screwing
we
them over.
actually fed them shit information. So don't trust a single thing we say from now on.
Yes, we're beating it from the inside, aren't we? All that stuff.
Yeah, mate.
Incorrect.
It's a bit like the game Cyberpunk 2077. A bit like that.
Yeah. Johnny Silverhands walks around, fucking ruins the game 24/7. Sorry, I've had a problem. I've really struggled getting through the
Really don't
last
like
portion
him,
of
do
that game.
He was
I don't
fine.
like that
don't know
character at
what
all.
The problem is, he was fine.
He wasn't though, was he?
He was.
Hey.
It was all right.
Get a gun. This is the music that I think is so cool. And you listen to it, you go, this is shit, mate.
Yeah, I
Johnny,
know, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? It's just like,
this is shit, Johnny.
He's a
You are
walking
shit.
caricature for better and for worse, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
didn't see much
So,
better. Go on.
as Phil Warner chat has just rightly pointed out, Julius Pringles was an episode we released in November 2021. I knew it
I'm
had been
going to have
discussed
to
before.
listen to that now because I need to know if we pointed that. I'm sure it was Sean that come up. Do you know the guy?
I hope we go
on the
back to that
Pringles
episode
box?
and I can clearly be heard saying like, "Oh, I love Pringles. They're my favourite crisps."
Yeah,
And they
Yeah.
are
Crisps.
crisps because it was
Yeah.
proven in court.
yeah. I bet that's what's going to happen.
Well, it will be after Matt's edited it and re-uploaded it. It'll be cut in like halfway through a discussion. Hey guys, I just want to point out that I'm fully aware. And if I get it wrong in the future, it must mean that I'm not doing too well and you should check me out. Get me checked out. Next message, please.
Aaron Patrick, the Quick Books chap. Hey guys, regarding the feedback from last week's show about the news about the PSVR price cut, David, you mentioned that you felt sorry for the people who bought PSVR 2 at full price near its launch. What about the people who purchased one based on James's recommendation?
Oh.
I mean, I think that's a bit off.
No,
So I didn't-
it's not
I
a
didn't-
bit.
I
James
didn't
is
give
shirking
it.
the responsibility he's been
James,
given
Yeah,
and the
you're an
power
influencer.
Not a bit.
that he hasn't.
Yeah, but I didn't give it like a full-throated. You must
Doesn't
buy
matter,
this.
mate.
you
You've
know.
got to understand that your words matter, yeah?
Yeah,
Just
if
said
you-
there
you're-
was some good things.
Your people's favourite podcaster, and if their favourite podcaster buys a PSVR 2, they're going to want to buy one as well.
Exactly.
Whatever you
You're like
say,
Tim
James,
the Tap
people
Man.
will do.
But also, shouldn't be too disappointed. I mean, there was that video that you shared with us, Matt. The Carl Bosman one. You know,
Yeah.
that was about, like reasons to not, it's like, trying to feel regret about buying it. And he concluded he didn't feel regret.
Yeah, he loved it, didn't he? That's a good thing. That.
Your mind is absolutely incredible, James. Like,
Why?
honestly, when you delve in there, because you started off by going, you shouldn't listen to my recommendations, and if you did, then you should be happy because it was great. Like, I don't understand. It's like, I'm not wrong, and I'm not wrong in another way as well. Like,
Exactly. Look, I'm consistently inconsistent with this, and there's no problem with that at all. It's fine.
Aaron continues, it's not all Sony's fault. One of my favourite VR experiences is F1 in VR. The problem, Codemasters, the developer, didn't think it was worthwhile to release it on the PS5. So the only way to play this game is on PC, which is full of bugs, issues and frustrations, especially with the Quest Pro. This makes me one of 8 people in the world eagerly awaiting the release of the PSVR PC link. It should theoretically be more reliable than the Quest for PC VR. However, despite its release being only a week away, you still can't pre-order it. I fully understand that I'm the fool for buying a PSVR 2, but it's just bad news after bad news. This almost certainly killed off the chance of Microsoft to fully embrace VR, even with rumours of an Xbox and Quest collaboration. Given how Sony have handled it, I can't imagine Microsoft just rushed in to get involved. Thanks for all the laughs. AP, the QuickBooks chap.
Yeah, I don't think that Microsoft's probably going to be running to get into VR now at this stage.
No, I mean there was the you can play, like you can stream Game Pass stuff. So you get a headset. I mean I've loaded it up like I mean this is my damage, right? About 3 times I've loaded it up, going I should try that, and then remembered I have to connect an Xbox controller to my Quest, and gone no I'm not, I can't be bothered. I'm not doing that. But for some reason I keep forgetting that that's a requirement, and then trying again another month later.
I wonder if like plugging it in the USB works. Have you got to sync it via Bluetooth?
I think it has to be Bluetooth, yeah.
Oh, it's just so annoying. I hate that. Hold down the button and go to the thing.
Exactly. Either why somebody what was the point of that either? Like why would you want to play like Game Pass games in like lower res on like a headset?
Well, exactly. Like the compression looks bad enough on just a telly or even a phone in some cases. Depends on the game a little bit, but yeah, I can't imagine. But yeah, obviously, they sell it with that. The whole thing like, it's like you're in a fucking cinema. It's like, yeah, but that'll look really bad.
Yeah, but presumably it'd be. It's not too dissimilar to using the Portal, right? Okay, the screen's better on the Portal. But
I think the compression on the Xbox Cloud stuff is more severe,
really noticeably worse. Yeah,
because I've streamed stuff to the Steam Deck, and even then, it's not great, and that's like an 800p screen. So,
okay.
My word. Yeah, I watched a video from a YouTuber called Voodoo DE who had like an early access to the PSVR 2 PC thing, and it looks like it does the job. I mean, he was playing Half-Life Alyx, and he's commenting on
2 cables.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to bring in. He didn't show it specifically, but it is. I think it's like Elgato. We need DisplayPort out to your PC and something else into the headset, but whatever. But yeah, it looked like it did the job. I mean. I think he was actually quite excited the fact he can use a PSVR 2, which he likes. It's comfy, the controls are good, and he said Alex looked great on the OLED screens. But it's quite a small Venn diagram of people that both have a PS5, have a PSVR 2, and then also want to use that for PC VR that may not have already had a Quest for that stuff.
I mean, are they hoping that people are going to, like PC people are just going to buy a PSVR 2?
No, they're hoping that people don't get mad when they just don't release, when they stop releasing everything for it. Well, just use it on your PC.
They've already done that, haven't they? I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that promotion ended now. I think it ended yesterday, so it'd be interesting to see if they bring that back or what that did in terms of shifting units.
£100.
50 quid. Dennis Tisangri. I think that's Dennis Tisangri. Dentist is angry. Dentist is angry. I use teeth whitening cream following Mr. Murray's stellar recommendation. Upside, my teeth are whiter than white. Downside, I only have 3 left because the rest have either melted or fallen out. You win some, you lose some.
There we go.
Sorry about that, Dennis.
That's all you got to say for yourself. After the battering we just gave James for not taking his duties seriously.
I don't think I actually recommended it, or maybe I did, but I think Dennis is a liar. Bobo Deckham. Just to let Dave know that he probably won't find Go Go Beckham Adventure on Sucker Island in his legally acquired collection of Game Boy Advance games that came with his legally acquired Game Boy Advance. I noticed because I checked my legally acquired collection of Game Boy Advance games and it wasn't there. I had to go online to the legally acquired Game Boy Advance website and legally acquire a copy. Sean was right. The game is a hidden gem Well deserving of his top 100 slot.
Yeah. In at number 100.
Yeah.
We got in there.
Yeah. Well, you made the Backstreet Boys really laugh at you about that. So, you know what I mean? Because it is a Sean Bell ass pick.
It is. You should say
Yeah.
Sam did tweet us saying yes, it was good-natured joshing.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
sorry to say that. I think that Sam sometimes makes I worry that he thinks that we're being serious when we're kicking off like that. We're absolutely not, Sam.
I mean, I was.
Yeah, our joshing wasn't good-natured, mate. So
No.
Oh,
You prick.
Sorry, mine was.
SMW's message. Just wanted to say thanks for Matt.
I wonder what happened there. I wonder how we found out about that. I've got a feeling the spies went onto their Discord again.
they're talking about
I
you.
think he just listens to the show.
No.
No?
No one actually listens, Sean. No one actually listens.
Go on.
SMW. Just wanted to say thanks to Matt for talking about Case of the Golden Idol several shows ago. I've been in a huge gaming funk of late, and after trying and deleting tons of Game Pass games, I got to this one which I downloaded after hearing the podcast. My favourite game of the year so far. Such a clever game. Loved it. Cheers, SMW. Well,
Is
you
there a
may.
Switch version of this?
I don't know, but it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game
But
Pass and
I'm
it's
going
on
holiday.
Netflix.
I need a holiday game, don't I?
Get on that Netflix. It's on there.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Yeah. Here you go. Here's the time.
I haven't got Netflix.
I don't blame you. It's fucking rubbish these days.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Jo got to the point where she was like, it's gone up again. I went, right. And she goes, do we even watch it? And I went, not really. Like, we watch Disney, so we've got Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But
It is on Switch, this game.
Is it?
excellent. I'll probably buy it on Switch.
See, I was
For me,
thinking
it's
about
not
cancelling
bad
as
app.
well recently. 'cause I
Well,
just thought,
the
what's
only thing that
point?
winds me up is, like, A, the price keeps going up, and B, the fucking bit rate keeps going down. They don't notice this. It looks like shit now.
The old switcheroo.
Well, I guess they save up for the 4. Are you on a 4K one?
Yeah, I'm on
Okay,
the
right, yeah.
fucking Maxo dickhead plan.
How much
and
is
it's
that?
still rubbish.
18 or 19 quid, I
I
think.
think it's 19 quid a month.
Whoa, it's
Yeah.
19 quid now.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Yeah,
absurd.
I wouldn't mind getting rid of it, but Elodie still watches it, so that's why we are paying for it. But I
But that's-
don't
yeah,
really
because
watch
Isaac's
it.
using it loads, but that's just because he's in the habit. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I just said tomorrow, yeah, we don't have that anymore, he'd probably just go on Disney Plus and be fine.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
don't know.
really.
Don't know.
What is she watching? The Floor is Lava, because that is genuinely worth the 18 or
That
19
is
quid.
pretty good.
I think she has seen it. Yeah,
that's
I can't
all
remember
right.
what she's watching at the moment. Some Australian teen drama thing.
Yeah. Isaac's well into
Young
Pinky
teen
Malinky
drama.
at the moment.
He-
Pinky
what, sorry?
Malinky? Pinky Malinky.
Pinky Malinky?
It is real. It's not one of those games that I talk about.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Real show.
like last week. What have you been playing?
It's a cartoon
good.
about a sausage.
All right.
Cool.
Self-
No.
Self-explanatory.
Running out of
really.
ideas on cartoons, aren't
Yeah.
they? I'm
Imagine
really
the
running
pitch.
out. There was what's the one on Nickelodeon that boys are watching at the moment is Rock Paper Scissors. It's like,
What, just like
fucking
like
hell.
a tournament?
No, they're just like it's a rock who has legs and an eyes that goes, "Come on, scissors, we're going down here." And I'm like, "Are you having a fucking laugh now? Is this what we've got to? Is this what we've become? Rock paper fucking scissors." Next.
We're going to end with Jay Tongs. You're probably already going to mention this, but if not, I just had to bring up the whole tattoo bet situation, which has ramped back up. Last week, after gameplay footage that everyone was rather unimpressed dropped, Matt seemed resigned to losing. This week, it seems some kind of NDA must have expired, and there are absolutely loads of new videos on YouTube of numerous content creators giving their impressions from a preview event, and all the ones I watched were surprisingly positive. The tables are turning, James.
Yeah,
I mean-
James, you must be nervous this week. I listened to quite a few podcasts, and they're like, "This is the someone." What was it? Nextlander today. Someone on.
Oh, I
this
heard
week's
that. Yeah,
Nextlander.
it was Will
One
Smith
of them went,
on there.
This is the Star Wars game that I've wanted forever. Like, this is the one that I really wanted. I was like, "Oh, James, what's going to
Yeah.
happen here?"
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because I'm definitely a
Sounded
bit more
like
nervous
Money
now
Penny
than
then.
I was. But
Nothing to be nervous
it's also
about.
a Ubisoft game, so I'm not that nervous.
Well, but everyone
honestly.
keeps saying that it doesn't feel like an Ubisoft game, which is the
they
most,
say
that.
most interesting thing I've heard about it yet.
I say that.
And the Assassin's Creed games seem to review really well anyway, don't they? I mean,
I was
Nice.
just
Yeah,
looking
by
it
all
up.
accounts, Assassin's Creed has picked up again.
yeah.
So let's just pick a random one like Odyssey.
But okay, but the
what
thing
did
is,
that
like,
get?
I
What
don't
did
think
that get?
I don't think either of us thought it was going to be a terrible game, but it's just probably not going to hit the numbers I need.
It got 80. Odyssey got 83 on Metacritic. That's
Ooh,
close.
and that is
Yeah, but
well
add
loved.
add 2 points to Star Wars, done. Well, no, actually, it's not,
Yeah,
not enough.
exactly.
Only 3 points.
Three.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You see, I'm
Two
not.
only gets you a score draw.
I'm still not feeling really, really nervous because even if
No
it's
way.
like not rubbish, like because this is the thing. I listened to like quite a few like people talking about it, and I watched some other things, and people were like, "Oh, this is surprisingly quite good," but quite good doesn't mean like over 85 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
That's
no way.
right. That's
There's
the
no
thing
way.
that blows my mind. I'm actually surprised that I think no, I'm really surprised that Survivor got that. I really am. Like it had a lot of problems that game.
It did, but it
I'm
was still, but the core mechanics of that game was still good though. I think, like, because it was a respawn
Yeah,
game,
they were.
and they're really good.
Yeah,
at
they
that.
were. Yeah, they were.
Well,
But
Respawn really good at first-person shooters.
Yeah,
yeah,
They're
you
getting
remember
better
the
at third-person Metroidvania.
do you remember the bit where you had to ride that really clumsy, long-legged thing across
Yes, I
the
do
swamp?
remember that.
What
That
the
was
fuck
bad,
was
wasn't it?
that? It was really bad. And
Still-
what about the
still-
bits where the birds are always in the exact place that you need to jump onto their and they flew you
Convenient.
over to another bit?
convenient. It was
Very
yeah.
convenient.
Yeah.
It's a weird game that
Still got an 85 though,
Survivor.
so still
It
good.
did.
Yeah.
That's what surprises me.
Yeah.
I think it is the Star Wars thing, and I also think we know that Jabba the Hutt and all that's in it. And you imagine what the reviewers are going to do when they see that fella.
Where
Is
were
it
we up
also
to
though
with the-
because
Sorry,
Jedi
no.
Survivor when it came out was that like early on into this generation as well?
It was.
What did you mean Fallen Order?
Whichever one this is that
Yeah,
we're having
The
the bet
recent
on.
one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
recent
the
one.
recent one was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
2 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Because I'm just wondering whether maybe it did better as well because of
No,
the fact
because
that
it
there
didn't
wasn't
look
much.
like an next-gen game, didn't it? It didn't look like.
Oh,
had loads
bits
of
it
problems
did.
with.
Yeah, it's fucking title screen.
Like the frame rate was pretty shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I played on PC, mate, so it's fine.
Yeah, but we're
We'll
talking
turn
about
up the settings down.
PS5. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I'm surprised you're not a lot more nervous, actually, James, because I was listening to some of the previews and stuff, and I was like, actually, this might swing the other way. I think it
Well,
might.
I mean,
swing
no
I've
the
got
other
to give
way.
a stock answer as well to this, which is that, like, well, I end up with a cool tattoo and a great game. So, like, who's winning?
That's what I like about this. It's not like, obviously, James has literally bet against it, but he's not really. Do you know what I mean? He'd still sort of rather it was good, I think.
Yeah, no, my dream scenario is that it's James's game of the year, but it gets like an 83 on Metacritic. So it rates lower, but James is like, I've got to say, legitimately, because that's what started this argument in the
And then-
first
and
place.
then he
It had
keeps
nothing
up-
to do with Metacritic.
No, I just thought it looked good.
I have pre-ordered it now. Like, I've done that.
Have you?
Yeah, I've done that. So,
Because we bullied
okay.
you into it.
Okay, is that it for feedback?
Yes, if you want to leave us feedback, go to tcgs.co/deartcgs.
Why did I bring up the thing on Amazon that I got wrong? No one seems to have a problem with it.
No one said.
Well, no, go on, then
someone-
we should get into it. So you
someone-
said,
Someone in the Discord said, "Oh, by the
We
way,
need to.
just ordered something same day from Amazon."
Yeah, look, the email said that actually we're changing it so you can't get same day delivery on items under £20. That was it.
Yeah, to spend over 20 quid.
You had to spend over 20 quid to get it, and they didn't.
Which
do
I
it
think
for-
is
that was it. That's
fair
the
enough.
misunderstanding that I had. But I'm
And,
not.
and it's that it's like, and that does support your point that they did reduce
something
the
away.
service.
Yeah, they reduced the service. So
Yeah.
thank you. If anything, it's just Sean and the Pringles. All right, it's just Sean and
Just
the
me.
Pringles.
And I've said sorry, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fine,
It's
we've
fine.
moved on.
James wouldn't have said sorry. James would have argued
Nah.
he was right still.
yeah,
which I probably would have been from some point of view.
yeah,
That's
from the
it for
courts in
feedback.
2008.
Yeah.
News then, James.
Okay, so I mean, we're starting off with some rough news because Destiny developer Bungie have laid off 220 staff, which is about 17% of their workforce. So in October last year, they already laid off 100 people, and this means that like they previously had like a 1,200 strong workforce, which has now obviously been cut quite significantly. And works out they've laid off about a quarter in the last 9 months. Do you want to hear what the CEO Pete Parsons has to say about this? Because
Yes.
it's quite long.
Is it going to make me
okay.
feel really good about the whole situation?
Is it
mean,
about
could-
classic cars or about
It's
gaming?
not.
I we'll get into this in a bit, but I will say before we listen to a quote like this, I've been really weirded out by the press releases and the comments being made by all sorts of people around this, or around these
I think I know what you
job
mean, but-
losses.
yeah.
yeah, it just feels a little bit off. But go on.
Okay, so CEO Pete Parsons, he said, due to rising costs of development and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions, it has become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny and Marathon. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. Today is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by this job reduction, we will be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and health coverage. I realise all of this is hard news, especially following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we've navigated the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all other mitigating options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. So, aside from that, two other major changes are happening. There's going to be deeper integration with Sony. So 155 of the roles of roles at Bungie are now going to SIE, and which is about 12% over the next few quarters. That's going to happen. And then secondly, Bungie is going to move one of its early development projects, which they're calling an action game set in a brand new science fantasy universe, to PlayStation Studios to form a new studio. So that's also happening. And then Parsons has basically said the reason that all this is going on is that Bungie was too ambitious and tried to expand too quickly. That was the thing. However, there's been a bit of pushback from this because Dylan Gaffner, who was the Bungie's global community lead, he said this on X. He said, "Inexcusable, industry-leading talent being lost yet again. Accountability falling upon the workers who have pushed the needle to deliver for our community time and time again. Please maintain focus on those who've lost their position and income. Offer help where you can." So that was the sort of the initial sort of reaction to all of this. But then a bit later on, there's also been a focus on Pete Parsons himself and his classic car collection. And the reason for this is that a lot of the purchases seem to have happened just before layoffs occurred at Bungie. And I mean, Eurogamer estimates that the amount he has spent on cars is around $2.4 million dollars, which is quite a lot. And former Destiny 2 community manager Liana Rupert shared a story on social media of talking about struggling for money for groceries and not being able to to afford things. Well, Parsons was saying she said he bragged about a few new expensive cars he bought and that we should come to his house and see them. And she said, I have not stopped digging since October. There's so much more to this that won't come out for a few more years to protect people. But I just want to say this falls squarely on leadership. And there's people now are sort of calling for him to go, and to say that it's been a bit not very good. The other interesting thing that came out of this was that apparently Xbox were interested in buying Bungie. This came out of the court records through the FTC, with the battle with the FTC. There was there was emails that came out where they were talking, but they were concerned about the burn rate of their finances and just were maybe not. We're not going to do that. And then another story came out where saying that that Bungie hadn't been entirely honest with Sony about their financials before Sony had bought them, but we don't know if that's true. So it's
we don't know if that's true, and I think that was the story that sort of stuck with me. It really feels like Sony have done a good job. It's not a good job, but they've certainly done a job to distance themselves from these closures. I mean, there are some comments there and some articles that do mention Sony directly, but that one stuck with me because I read it about how Bungie might have over-egged their profit. That's kind of a fucked up thing. That's a more serious thing to do than that's being suggested there.
It's a really serious allegation because and then I'm not sure I entirely buy it because I'd have thought that Sony would have done all of the they should have done all the due diligence.
I think they probably would.
And you do wonder. I think if most of the stuff that I've seen have been directed. Look, and I'm sure they're to blame as well, but most of the stuff I've read has been directed at the Bungie execs rather than the rather than the Sony ones, right? And you go, well, hold on, there's a lot of shit going on here. I just think ultimately what sucks is that Bungie were incredible and are incredible. I mean, a lot of people fell off of Destiny, but that's natural considering how long that game went on for.
And
One
by all
thing you
accounts,
can't-
it's ended on a high. Like
Yeah, they've actually managed to thread the needle and
Yeah.
finish that 10 years of storytelling on a good note.
And one thing you cannot point at Bungie and say is that the game never played well. The game is incredible to play. It's so much fun. And whether you got into all of the other stuff around it or not, well, I guess that's subjective. But whenever you picked up the pad and played Destiny, like the PvP stuff was absolutely stunning. There's no doubt that they are capable of absolutely incredible games, and to feel that they have taken a hit at this point seems really counterproductive, because with a big developer on their side, obviously they came from the history that they did and it hasn't always worked out, but with a big company like Sony on their side, then it feels that actually just getting them to knuckle down and work on a new project would have been really exciting. But now it feels like a lot of that studio has been gutted, and more importantly, the one aspect of that studio that seems directly affected is the music side of is the music department. I didn't know that they did it all in house, but for a lot of the music was done in house, and that crew have disbanded essentially, and you just think, oh my god, you think about Destiny and the music around that and the moments that they brought music into it, you just go, holy shit, you let those go? What are you doing?
Well, it's like they've also let narrative
well.
teams, the one who actually managed to get the most recent expansion, the End of the Light and Dark Saga, to a place where people feel satisfied after 10 years. That they went. It's like
like Luke Smith's.
Luke Smith's gone.
Which, and I know it's unhelpful at best, toxic at worst, to like put one person on a pedestal, but like he was largely credited with like turning it around when Destiny launched in a very bad way. Like he was put in charge of the what was it called, the expansion with the Dreadnought and everything, like, and everyone fucking loved it. It like transformed the game. And he's been at the helm since.
Was it something King? Taken King?
Taken King, thank you.
Yeah.
The best thing that, I mean, we know Luke from the old One Up days and stuff. And the best thing he did was step back that time, because if you remember the controversy when he said, "Yeah, we're going to create emotes that's going to make you want to chuck money at the screen and stuff like that," and it was like real crass sort of. After he went through that and a bit of a backlash, he sort of like took a step back, didn't he? And you could say, "Oh, right, he really learned a lesson about how to deal with the fans."
Yeah, I mean,
and stuff.
because he wasn't. I think it was him and a few other execs were not sacked, but have sort of chosen to go because cancelled projects. There's nothing for them. Well, they felt there was nothing for them to work on. I think was
because they were in particular. I think they were going to be working on a new game that was going to be in the Destiny universe, but was going to be like third person. Was it called like Payback or something?
Payback. Yeah,
it was a code name or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
But that's not happening now.
But I think it's
which
interesting.
is a real shame, because I think as much as I've enjoyed Destiny and like Marathon looks cool, it was really exciting. That was like, oh, there's these like other sort of 2 or 3 projects maybe bubbling away at Bungie, and like it was really exciting that we might see what they were at some point. But it sounds like most of them are
because there's still that NetEase mobile game, or isn't there something happening, or was happening at some point? Yeah, I find it's interesting of a bunch of things. I mean, like the fact that other game that is now being set up as its own PlayStation studio is interesting. So what they just either they see the cuts being so significant that Sony don't trust the team to do this new game, and they saw it as a good idea, so let's just spin it out into its own studio. That's interesting, because you think this is the kind of thing that will galvanize the team. But if they're like, there's so many cuts, it's best that we just kind of take it elsewhere, and it's still part of PlayStation Studios, even though it's a Bungie idea.
Do you think this will be the start of them just absorbing Bungie into?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Well, there's been
seems mad,
sadly,
given how big a name it is. But,
I mean, I think I read today, this may be wrong, but Herman Hulst is like kind of in charge now there at Bungie. Like that's kind of happened.
Wasn't that part of the dual CEO thing was that he was more in like he was going to be more sort of hands on with the dev teams, or hands on, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, that would make sense. The Pete Parsons stuff is really interesting.
Yeah,
because
I think it's interesting.
I think it's like I'm not excusing him, but I think it's a bigger problem than him personally. Because realistically, what has probably happened is, they've accepted this buyout offer. He's probably got a contract that says he has to stay around for 3 to 5 years or
3 years,
whatever.
yeah.
So realistically, he's probably already fucking checked out, and he's got all this money. He can't, he's not allowed to personally put that money back into Bungie if he wanted to, as far as I'm aware. That's not to excuse, like I say, the way all this shit is set up is horrible. But as I say, I think it's a bigger problem than him personally.
Yeah, I was kind of conflicted when I read all that. I mean, it's his money; he can do what he wants.
The fact that he was fucking bragging about it.
But that's the bit that is, he's bought at least it seemed like one car every month, or there's been fuckloads over the last 2 years. It's his money; he can do what he wants. But it's when it comes to him having his public profile on his website, he should have kept that private. He shouldn't have been bragging about it when people are struggling to make ends meet and then also losing their jobs. But he is well within the right to spend the money on wherever he wants. But I don't know.
Should you have that money in the first place?
Well,
I
guess
was
that.
chatting to a friend of the show, Gary Dutton. He pointed me to an interview with Tamim Antoniadis from ex Ninja Theory, and so it was announced like a few months before Hellblade 2 came out that he had actually left. And if you looked at his Instagram, it's like, oh yeah, he's clearly just been touring the globe for the last year, and so. Yeah, similar situation. But there's this interview with him where he basically just says I can't remember, I think it was his accountant or something. It's my accountant just put me in touch with this with high society friends, basically, because it was just you've got so much money now that relating to real people is going to be difficult for you. Not in those exact words, but it was very much you just sort of belong to this other sector of humanity now. It's
you're one of them now.
Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, and then I met all these cool people, and now I just hang out on yachts, and it's bizarre.
But back on Bungie, I mean, it was sad when 100 people went and lost their jobs in October, and now it's kind of happened again with another 220 plus a 155 going over to Sony. It's I mean, and then we had the most recent Destiny patch kind of leaked early a bit, and Lightfall didn't do too well, so it's been a rough year or 18 months for everyone there, really. So I mean, I would say I hope this is better for the team over there, but it's hard to know where the future is, especially with this other project being taken off.
Yeah,
Destiny 3, there was no talk about Destiny 3 in each of these. I've seen people like Jeff Grubb and other people saying, well, we haven't heard about Destiny 3. It's not that got leaked or that came out as part of any documentation. So we don't know where we are with that, but hopefully Bungie still remain Bungie, even if they are, then
fingers
just
crossed,
an internal Sony team.
I don't think it'll ever be back to what it was. No. I don't think
my worry is Destiny 2, this saga has ended. My worry is that the plan was that was going to end, and then Bungie would move on to other stuff. But now Sony are going, no, you got to carry on milking that now. And if that story carries on and doesn't wasn't allowed to just have that end, and then
I don't think that's what Sony will want to do.
Because this is what I was wondering about this. Because generally, I mean, the consolidation in the games industry has been awful. Over the last couple of years, it's been, I would say, generally negative. For everybody. I think it's really not worked.
It actually started in 2002. I was looking at it. It's in 2002. It's still 9,000 people lost their jobs, but it wasn't. And now 2023 and in 2024, it's actually started longer than we thought. But
what I will say is that
James. Sorry.
You see the industry sort of falling away like this, and you see all these companies. At least we've still got our games magazines, though. At least they're still strong, right, James? Right?
Yeah, right. So Game Informer. Game Informer magazine is going to close after 33 years.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I mean, we didn't get it here anyway, but it's the longest running video game magazine in the US, and it's been shut down.
Really?
It was. Yeah, it was the longest running, and it was being shut down by GameStop, who obviously were the owners of it.
I mean, not obviously. A lot of people didn't know, but
really, see, I always thought this was common knowledge, because this is not me slagging it off or anything, but it started out as an in-store newsletter.
Promotional.
I feel like that should be on the cover, though. Doesn't it? That feels like that should be on the cover of a video
Yeah,
games
but-
magazine, right? Owned by the company that's trying to sell you these things.
Yeah, bit strange.
That-
It's like when people
financially
get all
invested.
weird about Famitsu, and it's like half of that's PDF sent to them by PR. Like I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
People love a long-running magazine, I guess. But...
It was that if you wanted to get it, you had to have like a GameStop like subscription as well, and then you basically got the magazine. It seems to be. But then in 2024, they offered the chance to subscribe without having to have like a GameStop membership as well.
And to be clear, like it being owned by a game shop doesn't mean that the people who work there weren't any less passionate or knowledgeable. Certainly doesn't mean they deserve the way they've been fucking treated. Like it's been absolutely appalling.
God, no.
Like,
But then also,
dreadful.
you do wonder that if you're a video games magazine owned by a company that's selling you video games, doesn't that, no matter what?
Pretty obvious conflict of interest, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is.
But yeah.
But then also, I mean, the other thing that happened just today, I think, which is a Monday, is that like whoever was running the Game Informer like Twitter account like posted this sort of like heartfelt message of like goodbye and all that kind of thing.
Because the initial announcement was nothing to do with anyone who worked on the magazine, right? It was just this statement got put out, and everyone was like, "This fucking reeks of AI."
Yeah.
And and then they say someone who actually worked on the magazine sort of posted their own goodbye message, and then within like half an hour, the account got shut down, didn't it?
Yeah, it's gone now,
they deleted the account. So
and they've also they've taken everything off the website as well. So no one who's ever worked there has got any record of
it's just
stuff
terrible.
they did. It's fucking.
I mean,
appalling.
it's just sad, isn't it? It's just another, and it's a shame because you see, before we had this whole thing of like, we're losing print. Print's going, and it means that we're losing these magazines. And it's like, well, there's still the internet or whatever. But then, have you seen the state of most like video game websites nowadays?
Or most websites in general.
Yeah, or most websites
like, I don't
in general.
want to call anyone out, but increasingly.
But
no, I really don't. But I just like when you open up Chrome and it's like got here's like recommended stories, and because I've got no attention span, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll read that actually. And it's really quite shocking how bad some games writing is.
Yeah, but it's also it's because everything has become so focused on the adverts and on trying to get people to click the whole thing.
Well,
it's
trying to like align with whatever Google have suggested at the time, and that's why
Exactly.
everything's fucked up the way it is.
And it's not
exactly
and
for advertising purposes. Like that's why that's been done.
Yeah, the wider problem is that most games websites can't afford to pay people properly.
Yeah.
And
it's terrible because I mean this is the natural endpoint of this idea of like all content should be free on the internet, and it's like yes it was because of advertising because that's how this was, but then it's been optimized to such a degree towards the advertising that you're just completely losing the content like entirely, and it's really sad. It's like you can't even just think these magazines are gone, but I can still read quality content online because you can't. Because it's gradually disappearing. It's really sad.
I think people should be listening to video game podcasts because that's where the true
where the real criticism is.
Yeah, you ain't getting bombarded with all that sort of shit. Oh, excuse me while I just have a slip of lovely Pepsi Max.
I've got a kind of
available at Aldi.
The pirate flavour one.
In many ways, we are a bit like those shitty websites where, like, you go to find an answer, and in the first like 3 paragraphs aren't actually about the answer. That's like the intro is about that, and the actual games are like about 45 minutes in.
Good point. But really, we
say,
are the best. So just
what was I going to say?
people know
something else.
Why didn't they try and sell it? That's what gets me. Why did they just fucking kill it and not actually?
Because
someone
I would get.
Who's going to buy it?
IGN. Who's going to buy a video game magazine?
Well, I mean, IGN. They've got everyone else. They might as well complete the set.
That's true.
I wish James Farley would buy it. Just make it the James Farley video game. Hey, what's going on? Magazine.
Yeah, you could call it Games Misinformer.
Or Games gonna read Eurogamer.
I'd love to run a video game magazine.
I would say, jokes aside, I would fucking love it if we could do like a fanzine or an annual. I think I've said this before. I want to do a TCGS annual.
Yeah, TCGS annual.
So good.
And then you open the middle, there's a big pop-up bit, and it's Farley's Fantasy Zone. It just like pops up like this great big rainbow.
Well, like a centerfold.
Yeah.
I want Matt to be in charge of the
Tasteful
cheek zone. For all the codes.
That'd be great, actually.
Cheap Zone just be like, if you buy this DLC for £2.
Did you always want a copy
Yeah,
of
you
Mad
get 10,000
Magazine,
points.
Matt? I have a feeling that you'd always want a copy of Mad Magazine.
What was that?
You don't know Mad Magazine?
It rings a bell. I don't know what it is, though.
It's shorthand. It's not, but shorthand. You would say it's like America's version of Viz, I guess. It was like a
Oh, right.
satirical.
Oh,
and,
I recognise that picture of that kid's face.
Yes.
But I never got
Yeah,
into Viz
I
either,
was-
so...
Mad
it
Magazine,
had those
'cause-
crazy folding things, didn't it? On the back page where it would have like a load of writing, and then you would fold it, and the picture would turn into another picture, and it would say something else underneath, which was the
that
punchline.
does sound good, actually.
I only know of it
Pretty
because I used to
clever.
play the Spy versus Spy games.
Oh,
And
that's right,
Commodore
that was from
magazines would be
Mad
like, oh, this
Magazine.
is actually based on a comic strip from this thing you've never seen.
Yeah. We had one copy of that growing up, and it was like the whole Holy Grail. It was like, oh my god, this is from America. And now, well, we didn't have TikTok Shop back then, Sean.
No, we didn't.
Have TikTok.
Didn't have viral
Shop.
trainers. Nothing.
No viral trainers or viral car scrubbers or right.
Yeah, I wonder what
What's
the last gaming magazine is going to be. Is it going to be Edge Magazine? Is that the one that
It
feels
might
like that's
well
good?
be Edge magazine.
I mean,
just
that's
because-
the only one I can think of right now. That's like the only
Or-
dedicated one. But
There's also
like,
was Retro Gamer as well, which still does really well.
Retro Games still,
Yeah,
still
Retro
does well.
Gamer
Yeah.
does really well, doesn't it?
And of course, we're now old enough that I look at Retro Gamer and I'm just like, oh, that's the game I remember.
PS3.
from last week. I thought,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I
God.
mean, the supposed thing around Edge, and I don't know how true this is, but people have always said it's never
Money
sold that
laundering.
well, but they
Yeah.
keep it for the prestige because it is so future publishing can be like, look, here's this one sector where we have the industry leading publication. It's really good for them to have on the books, right? And
then just hope that they don't read it.
yeah. Don't tell them Chris Schilling's gone. It'll fucking no bite. Yeah. So in a way, you sort of think, well, does that mean it's like invulnerable from poor
Well,
sales? I don't know.
I
don't
don't
think
know
it is.
because how is future publishing doing? Like print media
All
in
right,
general.
I think. Aren't they? I'm pretty sure Future as a whole is okay.
Really?
I think so. This is going to take this the
Yeah,
report case in 2008. And I just
cut to next week. Yeah, Moon
Hopefully
Biscuit
it's
in the
fine.
chat. Yeah, Moon Biscuit in chat said Edge is up to issue 401 now, so we've overtaken them. So who's the real
they need to get a move.
gaming? I mean, yes, we're weekly. Apart from that, we've overtaken them. So up yours.
What's really sad about Edge magazine is when they started doing the iPad version and it was fucking cool. And
Yeah, the
all-
first few with like the animations
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
trailers and
And then Future
Yeah.
sort of immediately went, all right, no, you're not having any extra staff to do that anymore, so it's just a PDF.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I bet that was based on numbers because
Oh my
even
God,
I
yeah.
was like,
Probably.
oh, that's really
The
cool.
amount
But
of
I don't want
work
to
as
read
well.
a magazine like this. It's
Tell
really
you what,
annoying.
though, so I was reading it the other day actually because I just like on on the computer, and it's like it needs a redesign. That magazine does
Yeah.
as well though, because they've had the same design now for I don't know. It feels like about 10 years. It's like the same, like same section headers. The whole thing is like exactly. It hasn't changed for like. I mean, I'm sure it's just because it will cost a fortune to change it, but it's I don't know. It just starts to feel a bit.
You can't buy a new font, guys. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about feeling old about old video games and stuff. I don't know if I mentioned this on a show, but I saw it on a video recently, and the difference is even bigger now when I look at it. But someone pointed out that the distance between GTA Vice City coming out and now is longer than the distance between GTA Vice City was set and the game coming out. And you go, holy shit, because there's like, what is it, like 18 years between the setting
Yeah.
and the game, and then there's like 20, 22 years or something like that between it. But then Harry said this to me. This will freak you out, Matt. Yeah, the next time England play in a major tournament, it will be the same distance between
oh god,
Free Lions song than it was between the Free Lions song and the 1966 World Cup final.
Oh no! How? No,
He's right,
What-
because
the
it'll be
next
60
time.
years. It will be 60 years. So
God
it was
damn.
30 years after. It's 1966, 1966, 1996, 1966, and then, 2026.
Can we move on? 'Cause this is-
I don't think we can. I think this is it now.
I think that what that means is, David. I think we're going to win it. I think we're going to
think-
win that one.
I think
That's-
you might be right.
Put your bets on
Old
now. We're
Pep
going to
in
win.
charge.
Yeah, we are going to. Oh,
Good old Pep in
Peppo.
charge. Right. Okay. What's
Okay,
next?
so next story is that this is from Eurogamer. This was making games for Apple platforms like an abusive relationship, say developers. So this is from a
I
new.
don't like that as
It's
a
a bit,
statement.
a bit inappropriate, but yeah.
Yeah, come on.
But that's
Not James's
yeah,
fault, obviously. But...
yeah, that was.
Yeah, do you want to
Eurogamer's
apologise, James, on
expensive
behalf
quote.
of this Eurogamer.net?
Yeah.
No.
Whoever they are.
So I said in a new report, mobilegamer.biz spoken to a number of anonymous developers that are making games for Apple Arcade and also the Vision Pro, and they talk about like a whole litany of issues, suggesting that Apple simply does not understand like games or the industry. I mean, I think we already knew this.
Yes, we
I mean,
did.
the key problems are like not hearing back regarding technical questions for like weeks on end, and when they do turn up and talk with them, they won't share information for like they call it like confidentiality reasons. And I mean, here's one of the quotes. They said developing for Vision Pro is like going back in time 10 years because despite the advertised power and the costs, it is not a machine built for gaming. Getting any complex games working on the platform is difficult. And also, like Apple don't offer any financial incentives like for the platform, like like Meta, like just throw money at they have been throwing money at them, but yeah, that Apple don't do that. And also, another developer said that the localization process is like ridiculously complex as well. Although on the plus side, developers did say they were getting paid well for being on the platform, so I guess there is that.
Something at least. Yeah.
But the general overall impression is that Apple Arcade is directionless, and
That's been for ages.
Yeah, I think we knew that from like literally a year or 6 months into the whole project, where like it was like the first 6 months were amazing, all these games, and then all the reports coming about the fact that Apple had cut funding during development of some games. And they're like, well, now what do we do? And it doesn't seem like
they
it
cut
was.
some games loose that were mid-development.
Yeah,
and,
like they weren't going to do like original games. They're basically going to take other games and take out the microtransactions. So that isn't a surprise. I mean, I read this the other day. This also is not a surprise. It's just kind of sad to hear that it's the truth, but yeah, we've known for years. Like every time they might release a new iOS version or a new thing for Apple TV with controllers or Game Pass support, whatever it is, every time it's
that
like
was the moment.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
the
the-
moment they could have actually made a difference.
it's
If
true.
they'd have taken during that time, the App Store for games was still relatively well respected. They bought out Apple TV. All they had to do was bring out a controller alongside it, and instead they tried to make you play with their touch remote control. It was
There
dreadful.
was like an official. There was like a licensed kind of SteelSeries controller, which I bought because I thought we could go new Apple TV, the get into gaming, this might be a new console, and it was exciting. It is exciting, the idea of all the games you got on your phone when we're all playing games on our phone, now available on the TV with Bluetooth controller support. It's a great idea, but they just didn't do enough of
The
it.
fact is, Matt, the fact that they didn't bundle in a controller with their Apple TV meant that they weren't serious about that as a gaming platform.
Well, yeah, no, but they're never going to bundle in a controller because it's not a console.
No, what I'm saying, they fucking should have. If they cared about, that was their moment. If they wanted to get into gaming, that was their moment. That was their moment.
It's a nice bonus. But like, they're not going to turn their TV box that have sold millions into like suddenly a console by bundling a pad. They could have done their own pads and had
successful. They don't really talk about it anymore, do they? Their TV box.
No, I mean, it still does. It still does very well. It's it's not
it's just bundled into like they're kind of like I'm sure like wearables and other like products. But I love my Apple TV. I haven't actually got it now because it's at home. But when there's a new one, I'm going to get a new one. So it was just the best way to watch TV. It was nice and sleek. Anyway, regardless, when I bought that pad, I was like, this is it makes sense for them to do this, and they didn't push it, and they never have pushed it properly. It felt like the whole phones, games on iPhone was like a lucky. They just got lucky with they launched the App Store, games appeared. Brilliant! It's kind of fallen into their lap, but they've never really been ones to totally drive stuff. Admittedly, now we do have like iOS versions of Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7.
They've done badly as well.
Yeah,
haven't they?
which not surprised because they were like full price games, and
that's the problem because
tablet or a phone. I don't.
But that's the problem though because you see this is the whole issue with the whole of this idea of expanding gaming to bigger, to like larger audiences, is that if you're asking those people who have been playing phone games that are like free to play or whatever, and then just saying to them, oh, you need to pay 60 quid to like play this like massive game that we created, that audience is not interested in doing that at all, and there was no way that was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
That's
you can
why
still you can still make, like you say, people who are used to shitty free-to-play stuff. You can make better versions of that stuff.
Yes,
and you
of
can,
course.
And you can move people across that. But yeah, you can't go from Candy Crush to
Those
Resident
big,
Evil 4. For
those
60
massive,
quid.
big budget games that are costing like millions and millions of hundreds of millions of dollars to make are not. They're not going to expand to that wider audience because that wider audience is not interested in paying that amount of money for them.
But yeah, so just to clarify before we get feedback, so Resi 7 on iOS it's downloaded 83,000 times and it's like free to start, but you had to pay just $15.99 to upgrade to the paid version. Apparently, like hardly any people have done that. And then
downloaded 83,000 times.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And just 2.4% of people's just
dreadful.
2.4% of players converted to the £15.99 paid version. But the Assassin's Creed Mirage that launched for $44.99, and 3,000 people have paid for that. So
It's terrible.
Fucking hell.
That's
I
really
think
terrible.
Death Stranding is also on it. I'm not sure how much it is, but yeah, I mean it's very impressive. If you've got the high-end Pro phones, incredibly impressive what these phones can do. But
I was going to say, how much, like, of those people who've bought these games, how many were actually intending to play them, and how many are just being like, "Hey, look what my phone can do."
yeah, that's not the ideal way to play that, to say the least. But.
But no, it's crazy. I mean, Apple don't care about games. They never have done.
No, they don't.
And it's an afterthought, for all of that. Yeah. And Apple Arcade is it's a checkbox, for their services, as being like.
I think if they felt they could just kill it, I think they would. At this point. Or but I don't know. Maybe now all they're doing is paying for ad-free versions of existing games. Maybe it is now paying for itself. I don't know. But I cannot imagine what it was like being whoever it was that was part of the team that initially drove it and got loads of really cool original stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like presumably they were all let go or reassigned elsewhere or something. That I just
100%.
they must be screaming at the sky at this point. Like
Yeah. But do you remember like the heyday of mobile gaming? The other day I was thinking I remember almost every day I would check the iTunes, the Apple app, the App Store charts to see what the new games were. And the other day I was like, I'm gonna look, and it's all just like literally the same old games or just like poor copies. But it used to be
fucked the whole thing.
Yep.
It completely fucked.
I remember that every day, like, what's this new game everyone's playing? What's this like? Now we just don't hear about it as much. Maybe it's different circles, but don't hear about it as much. I'm not checking the charts every week to see what the hot new game is. It's just like I just don't play games on my phone. It's just
let's play that. Let's play a game. So we're
podcasting.
Where's games? We're gonna find games on the App Store, and I want you to try and get as many of the top 10 as possible.
No idea. I haven't looked at that for years.
Hold on, you said it's the same old ones every time. You should know.
Well, it's free. Well, it's not going to be Fortnite, is it? 'Cause it's not on the App Store.
Well, okay,
No.
okay. See what we're playing is not must-play games, more games you might like, Apple Arcade, top free games or top paid games. What should we go with?
and top page probably easier.
Paid, all right. Top paid games. Yeah, there's a few on here that you might know. Go on, see if you could get.
Yeah, Minecraft will be on there.
Minecraft's number one. Minecraft
of course
is
it
number
is.
one.
Roblox, is that free to play, free to download? So that'd be-
Among Us.
Yeah.
Among Us.
Among
Good
Us,
shout.
yeah.
Isn't that free to play now? Because it's not
I
in the
don't know.
top 10.
Maybe
Not
it's
anywhere
free
near
away.
the top 10. God, the ones that I could see on here. See how many of them you know. Maybe that's. I think you're going to struggle with this. Minecraft, obviously, number one. 2 is Plague Inc.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one
Okay.
there.
Is that still
Yeah,
kicking
Heads
around?
Up,
That's
obviously.
still doing really well because I know that had a surge during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I get as people just sort of being morbidly interested in the subject matter, I suppose. Weird way of dealing with what was going on, but yeah, weird that it's still.
Yeah,
so
still
high.
big, yeah.
Heads Up, that's a very popular game. Geometry Dash, which all the kids, I mean, Harry loves that. The kids love that. Kingdom Rush 5. That's one of those games that you see those adverts for, and you're like, Bloons TD 6. I don't even know what that is.
Tower Defense.
Monopoly. Red's First Flight,
Fucking
which
Monopoly.
is, I think,
Is
it's
that Angry
classic
Birds?
Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Angry
yeah,
Birds
yeah.
classic. Papers, Please is number 9.
Oh, fair dues.
Wow. Okay.
And then at number 10,
What a eclectic
is
chart.
Stardew Valley. There is actually a pretty good top 10 there, I think.
The Papers, Please one is interesting because I think I've mentioned it before that Lucas Pope, the creator, was flying somewhere and someone at the border control, like the passport check, just like gave him his passport back and said "Glory to Arstotzka."
That's
And he
nice.
was like, oh fuck. Which but yeah, and obviously being in our circles, like, oh, but that's like a cool game for weird nerds. How's that? But A, no, it isn't. Like, it's clearly had quite a bit of reach. And B, if you worked in passport control, obviously it's going to come up. You're
Yes.
more likely to have heard of it, right? Because, oh, there's a game about our job. Like, it's quite interesting. And yeah.
I'll tell you what isn't on there though, is Braid Anniversary Edition. Which is
Oh, smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth
segue.
Farley.
It's the king.
Can I move on to this?
Please.
Yes,
You ruined it now.
please.
Well, if you do a segue like that, you don't need to ask permission.
Yeah, you don't.
mate.
You've done the segue.
You've earned
I
it.
don't
For
know, I didn't
fuck's sake,
I
James.
didn't know if David had any more fun games I'd like to play, but
Yeah, let's check the app store.
Hey, oh, it's the same old shit every time. Name them. I can't. Go on.
They're all different.
it's all free to play shit. I don't care. Anyway, so Braid Anniversary Edition has sold like dog shit. Apparently, according to Jonathan Blow, that's what he said. That's his words, not
Yep.
mine. So it says it was released on May 14th, and it's a remaster of the original, and it's got like new features and a new interactive commentary track, which has got like 15 hours of commentary as well. It's not a very long.
So is that
game.
supposed to be an incentive or
That's what I was wondering.
Well,
yeah.
this is what
or punishment?
this is what's so funny about this is I genuinely, and maybe I'm overthinking it because again, being in the circles we're in, it's for me it's very hard to ignore the fact that so many people have turned against Jonathan Blow.
Right.
now. And it's
Right.
like, is that a factor? Like the fact that like there were articles that were like, this has got 15 hours of Jonathan Blow talking at you. If you think you can fucking put up with that, like, it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
really interesting. Like he, for all his faults, he knows
He's a
about
fascinating
video
game
games.
designer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't know
like-
that. He's only ever released 2 games. Like,
Yeah,
so-
and they're both
Yeah, but
bangers.
both are
Like,
really well respected, aren't they?
That's true.
yeah.
Um,
Go on.
I mean, can I
I
read
think
the
it's
quote?
more to do with lack of advertising,
Yes.
lack of marketing.
Yeah,
I-
awareness around this
we'll
wasn't
come
great.
to that in a second because that's
Okay.
quite interesting. Because see, so when he was asked how the game is sold, he said, "Well, it depends on your standards, what your standards are. If you compare it to nostalgic things like the Jeff Minter game that's on Steam or Atari 50, it sold much better than all of those. But it has still sold like dog shit compared to what we need to make for the company to survive. The future is uncertain. Let's put it that way. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good." And yeah, so that was the whole thing. But then also, I was reading that a while ago, he said that advertising doesn't sell games. Like, this is
Oh,
one
well,
of the
there you go.
things. I mean, I think he's like following the Microsoft approach, to
Matt,
like,
as a marketer, what would you think of that?
Well, I have heard people say this. Yeah, like it's so different now
were
than
were
what
they
it used to be.
Xbox executives that were saying that?
No. Nope. People close to the
I
home.
mean, for all he knows about game design, he's proven that he doesn't know a lot about a lot of other things. So I think we can put video game marketing into that category.
Yes, you can.
So, but yeah, I think awareness around this was poor. And as I say, I think even people like me who begrudgingly really like his games, again, I was like, I don't know if I want to hear him talk for 15 hours at me. I don't know if I'm up for that. So yeah, and didn't he later clarify? It sold didn't say something like 83,000, which like it has been profitable. Like obviously a remake like this is relatively cheap. It's just I think he was banking on it helping
Being
the studio out as
huge
a
and-
whole.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
because apparently they're working on their own engine for their next game, and that's why things have been very expensive and not a lot of money's been
Yeah,
coming
that's
in.
what
Man,
you
they're
wanna
not
do,
taking the
isn't
Duke Nukem
Yeah,
approach.
why
are
would
they?
you do that in this day and
Yeah,
age?
for a dev of that, like, a team of that size, I don't really see how it's worth making your own engine. But
Oh,
yeah,
Jonathan Blow blocked
Mm.
James Farley on Twitter.
Still
.com.
He was ahead of the curve.
he was. I wonder if anyone's gone back to listen to like me defending him,
Nah.
because that stuff's definitely.
Why
on
would they do
record.
There's
People go back for all sorts of stuff. It's
you were angry. You were angry at Phil Fish, weren't you? That was the one that you didn't like. Was it Phil Fish?
I was, but then, well, ironic. I mean, they've sort of switched roles now, haven't they? Because yeah, Phil Fish used to be kind of an arsehole, and but then he had that appearance on My Perfect Console where he's clearly grown up. You know what I mean? Like however long it's been, like 10 years or whatever. He seemed like really sound, came across really well. Whereas Jonathan Blow has just sort of repeatedly embarrassed himself on Twitter for the last decade. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was reading. I can't remember where I was reading this either. This is terrible. Like people were speculating also about maybe some of the reasons why this hasn't done as well as he probably expected is how like the indie game scene is completely different to how it was even like 5 years ago, or even 5 to 10 years ago when this first came out, and where you had like Braid came out. It was the summer of arcade. It was really a kind of like a big blooming of that kind of stuff, especially on console. Whereas now there are thousands and thousands of games released like constantly on
like,
this, and it's like
I would argue that like Braid was good enough that like even if it had been more crowded at the time, I think it still would have stood out. But yeah, but a remake of it or remaster, whatever, is not half as enticing, is it?
Man, this game came
I'm
out
surprised
16
you
years
didn't go
ago.
for like Braid 2. I think everyone would have been more interested in Braid 2.
especially if it had guns as well. Like that would have been.
Yeah, and
Yeah, more
explosions.
explosions,
and...
please.
Yeah.
I do still really want to revisit The Witness, because I think I enjoy puzzle stuff a lot
All right,
more than I did
Detective
back then.
Sean. Detective Bell. Sorry.
Yeah, just because I never actually properly finished it. Like I did loads of it, and then like loads of the sort of semi-secret stuff. I never actually saw credits on it. I should probably sort that out one day.
Yeah. All right.
You know,
Cool.
with all that free time I've got. And
Yeah.
games
I
coming,
often
so-
have. I often feel stuff like that. I should play all the way through that again. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Nope.
Yeah.
Can't
Well, it
do
would,
that
but
because
maybe when you retire.
Yeah, like last night or today, they released like a little snippet of The Last of Us Part 2 or Season 2 footage ahead of the show coming back out in 2025. I'm like, I might play Part 2 again. When am I going to do that? When am I going to squeeze that in? But also, I'd like to play Part 2 again.
all right. Last
You're on mute,
You're on
James.
mute, James.
You're on
Do you know, I haven't done that for ages.
You do it
And
every
I'm
week.
pretty
No, I
sure
don't.
you've said that.
I
the past
literally
2
don't
weeks.
do that every week. That is bullshit, Bell. I do not do it
You
every
last,
week.
literally last week.
I didn't.
Yeah, I think it was last week. I've definitely heard you say I haven't
Yeah.
done that for ages in the past couple of weeks.
Definitely haven't done that for a while. It's been a while that I've
Okay.
done that. Anyway,
It's been 2 or 3 weeks.
a while.
Yeah.
it feels like a while.
Yeah,
Anyway,
in this current season of appearances.
You
for
know what the
first one.
feedback's going to be next week. James did that at 12:02:01 episode. Go on.
And
And
I
that's
love
just from
that when
David.
I'm not the target.
Anyway, it seems that Valve might be working on a new game that may be a Half-Life game,
Oh, yes.
which could be happening. So, the initial news for this,
You can't get
was-
excited about this, Matt.
Can do what I want,
afraid.
mate.
No, you
Why
can't. You
why
can't
not?
get
No,
excited
just call me
about this.
that. Why not?
Because you said Alex was the big return of Half-Life, even though we all knew it wasn't the big return of Half-Life. You cashed in during that game, so we're going to be really excited about a new Half-Life game on another level because we didn't waste our excitement.
There's plenty more where that came from, so don't worry about that. Also, it set
Alright.
things up, so I think I was well within my right to be excited. Also, it's probably the best VR game there is. Next.
So
It's
anyway,
not hard.
the initial excitement for this came from a credit for a voice actor. So there was this voice actor, Natasha Chandler's website, which, as I think it's probably now been revised, but it said that she did voiceover for a game that was called Project White Sands. You see, and which was from Valve. Like it had Valve, then Project White Sands, and the thing is,
What
people
website was this on? Just a private
on
website.
her website. I mean, how do people
Can we
find
do
these things?
Can we
It's like,
say that on our website? Can we put we play the new robots in Half-Life 3, just so we get a bit of attention?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
it's
we
a great
get
idea,
a little
actually,
bit?
yeah.
Can we just do that?
Yeah, well,
The
I mean,
guys-
but basically, people now will have a Google alert set up for Project White Sands. So let's just create a Project White Sands page.
And then
Yeah.
just put / Half-Life 3. We're in it, and then just
And
see how
then it
long
links to
takes
links to our Patreon for
Me
more
and
information.
Matt, are both playing, Matt and I are
Yes.
both playing Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, but different time periods.
In this
Different
month's
weights.
bonus show, we
There's a
talk
bit
about
where there's
what
a
happens.
bit where he has a breakdown and puts a load of weight on. That's when I come in and then he turns it around, spends half an hour on a treadmill, and then it's back to Matt again.
Yeah, it's very clever.
Half an hour on a treadmill. That's the difference between you two.
That's
Half an
that's
hour
what
on
they
a-
do in TV. They're like, oh, he's not depressed anymore.
Yeah.
Look, here's him on a treadmill,
Montage.
and now he's fine again.
I would, we should definitely put up a bonus show where we say, here's what happens in Half-Life 3. Sign up to Patreon to find out. Yeah, go on.
So the reason this whole White Sands thing is exciting is because people worked out that it's a park in New Mexico, which is where Black Mesa is.
Right.
Like, so that's the link there that it could be
Okay.
that. And then
But then can you can't say the reason why this is so exciting, say, hold on one sec, something's going on.
No worries.
Forget it.
Any questions from the audience?
Yes. About where the fuck Dave's just gone.
How we doing on Instagram?
Yeah, how many?
One viewer.
Whoa, we're blowing up. Shit, this blew
Well,
up.
it's like
Let's do numbers.
It's not the sort of thing I would want to see on Instagram. I was like, oh god, they're doing a whole ass podcast. No thanks. Swipe.
Okay, we got a question from Scientologist. Matt, what Half-Life games you played? I played Half-Life 1. I played The Orange Box. I played Black Mesa, which is a remake of 1. I played Blue Shift with Barney back in the day.
Yeah, that was good.
I played Half-Life Alex. I played the Portal games if you want to continue. I think that's most of them, isn't it? I mean,
Opposing Forces was great as well. That was the,
was that the multiplayer one or was that the single
that
player
was the
one?
one where you played as like a Marine, like going.
Yeah, I remember, didn't play that one, but there's your answer, Ben.
Phil says favourite Radiohead song.
Oh God, you can't. We'll be here all day.
Ooh,
I mean, I still think the Glastonbury performance of Fake Plastic Trees in 2008 is the one that gets me.
I don't know if that.
I mean, I've just can't one. Yeah. So 2008 was like the massive Radiohead one. What was the other one? 20. They did 2 incredible Glastonbury performances. And I think it's 2008. It's like Fake Plastic Trees is absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible.
I wonder if my favourite is All I Need from In Rainbows.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous.
Oh, I don't know.
The whole
That's a
album's
tough one.
gorgeous.
That's a bonus show in and of itself. That.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Grey Dragon Claw. I still can't change the fuck. I did a stream. I can't change the title.
I'll take a picture of
can't
that. I'll take a picture of like Dave like trying literally 17 times in chat, like game,
I'm not doing
no
it through the
title,
console.
no.
I'm doing it through OBS. But
We can definitely do it in OBS.
It's like
yeah,
a little
for every
window
video
there.
that I've watched, it says go to your stream settings, and this window pops up. Type your fit, and I'm like, well, the window hasn't popped up. So what do I do now?
It's a module. Like it's a module.
Yeah, it's
you
a
have to-
dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, understand. Doesn't show up. Just
Yes,
doesn't
switch
show
it
up
on.
for me.
So switch it on.
We've got to switch it on. Shall I have a look now, quick?
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
How
like
do you
James is
switch it
streaming
on?
again. Oh no, he's not streaming again. He's ran out of Jägermeister.
That's weird.
Well, we need to carry on this story. It's a biggie.
Yeah, we are. What? Hold on. How do you turn the module on?
So if you go to docs, and then there should be one there that says stream information.
There isn't. I've got scene sources, audio mixer, scene transitions, control stats, and chat.
Hang on, wait a minute. Let me
Is that
open
it?
it because you've got the
Yeah.
same one as
Oh
I've
yeah,
got.
so yeah, 'cause
probably.
I've got all the vertical stuff.
Hang on.
This might be because I've got stream elements. I thought I
It's
took
yeah,
that off
stream
then.
elements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bear with me,
Oh, I
David. I'll
got
send
rid
you a
of
Go on.
it because I thought it
screenshot.
was causing problems.
Right, there we go.
Oh, we'll get back to the pod in a bit.
Probably should.
So, are you saying people are watching on Instagram?
Couple, yeah. Let's say it's people are sort of constantly joining and then leaving.
And leaving. Can you see comments? Have they left comments?
No,
Is it just like this is
weirdly,
shit?
there was a few to begin with. Just people saying hi and be like, "Hey, it's working" and stuff, and then that was.
Can't believe I need James to show me how to fucking do this. Oh, that's why you all sounded weird earlier when I logged in because I had OBS open.
Alternatively, you
Right,
can just go
okay.
to like the Twitch page and just type
Yeah, you
in.
can do it there.
Yeah,
I'll
I did.
send
I
you
tried that
this.
exclamation mark title and then type what I wanted, and it wasn't changing. Trust me, I tried that. Tried it. It's fucking doing my nutting. And then people saying, "Oh yeah, that's what you do. You just type it in." I typed it in, and people were like, "Yeah, that's what you're supposed to
Is
type
Dave
in."
not an admin?
Yeah, I'm an admin. I'm a
Right,
mod.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I've just sent you it on WhatsApp.
Okay, let's have a look at this
It
quick.
will appear in a second.
God.
There's two. So one of them is with the stream information thing on there.
Right.
Can we do this after the show? Or...
So we paused the show. Oh, my
still
fucking.
recording.
Oh, sorry, boys. My recording stopped.
Oh.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Should we all
When?
Stop and,
Hold on.
When?
Stop and
What's
save,
time?
then,
Well, hang on.
1:17:55.
Okay, yeah, so it must have basically literally stopped as we stopped because I'm on 119 now.
yeah? Okay.
Well,
So should we all stop and save and then
Yeah, we'll have to stop
do
and
new
save.
recording?
Wow, this is all fucking with my. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. Sorry, boys.
Right.
well, hang on, so
Okay.
we're stopping, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
What are we on
Hang on, so
for?
hang on,
Yeah,
I'm
right,
gonna,
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
got
go
that. I
back.
haven't got that. Is that under docs?
Yeah, you click on docs, and there's one that says stream information.
Right, I've told you already that I haven't. That's not showing for me.
So, hang on, David, when did you say your recording ended?
17:58 962. It would have been when 1:17:58. Yeah.
1:17:58.
Okay, I'm stopping the recording, right?
Yeah,
And
I've
then-
stopped mine. Saved it.
Okay, yeah. So we'd already stopped by that point. Cool. So we'll just have to start the, I don't know, the Half-Life thing again. Not sure.
Hold on. Well, I can check what was the last thing. Hello, you back to being normal sounding again?
Hello.
Yeah, I spoke better.
412A. No, 4.
Oh, literally, it was just as I was finished. Yeah, it was when I said doesn't show up for me. Ooh. Share Xbox. Share song to disk. David, what are we up? 413
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
one.
your thing's massively out of sync now as well. The video.
I'll reconnect. Hold on.
It looks okay here. It looks alright on the stream as well.
Yeah, but if it's distracting,
Yeah, I suppose.
would it balls thing up if I
No, should be fine.
Cool. Right, let's do this first.
One thing that is nice about the Instagram stuff, someone, I forget who it was, but they pointed out that they thought there was like an hour limit on Instagram live stuff, but we appear to still be on. So that's good. That must
That
not
is
be a
good.
thing.
David, you might want to. Oh, he's gone. Okay. I think he's got an old version of OBS.
That would explain it. Oh, actually, no, it should still have the stream information thing, shouldn't it? If that was
Yeah, but they may have
standard.
changed it. It may be the layout may have changed because
Mm.
they do that quite frequently.
I'll try updating OBS. Yeah, it might be the thing. But it's weird, isn't it?
There was a broken version, and then they did fix it within about a day. Actually, there was a new one. The one that is out at the moment seems stable to me. I've not had any problems with it.
Do you remember version 28, Sean? It fucked everything up for weeks.
Yeah,
That was great, wasn't it?
Because they didn't have NDI support.
No.
Because if we'd already
Yeah, I
moved
bet
to
mine's well out of date.
Video Ninja by then, we would have been all right. But never mind.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry.
It's all right.
My bad. Any other questions? Oh, I can get a drink actually because I've run out of.
Yeah, go for it, man. It's really fun seeing like people joining the stream on Instagram, and I'm just like, who? Because like obviously we we know most of the people who show
Sean
up
get
on
water
Twitch.
as well.
And then I'm just like looking on Instagram, and I'm just like, oh, who's Popular Toys Emporium? And who's,
I know that
who's...
is.
like, do you know what I mean? It's just
I know
nice.
that is. That's.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that's yeah. It's somebody I play online with. So
Oh,
that's-
nice.
That's nice. Yeah. It's hang on. I'm just doing a test recording. Okay, and
Oh.
yeah, that's fine. Okay.
You just muted yourself for a second.
I know I did that on purpose.
Oh, was that part of the test, right?
Yeah, I always do a mute test as well to make sure it's actually working. It's, oh dear. Sex toys, Ben.
2 more sleeps, baby. 2 more sleeps.
Actually, not. They're
then.
they're
Spain, baby.
regular. Children.
Getting the fuck out of
just toys, isn't
here.
it?
It's normal toys,
Mm.
not
We're just
for putting up your bum.
Mm.
we're just normal men.
Just innocent men.
We're just innocent men. Test 1 2 1 2. Okay, what we talk about?
Well, Matt's gone, so we need a minute.
That's
Talk
fine.
about Half-Life.
Yeah, man, I cannot wait. We have a 7 o'clock in the morning flight, and what I love is the amount of people out. The cab is coming at just gone 4 o'clock in the morning to pick us up and go to on our holiday. And it's really funny when you tell people that you got a 7 a.m. flight and they go, "Oh, but yes, Jim Jam, I love an early flight too. It's part of it. It's part of the holiday experience for me. Because when I was a kid, that's what it was. We used to be woken up at like 2, half 2 in the morning. Come on, we got to go. And you'd be like walking out and it's still cold and you're like, what is going on? Turn up at the airport and your dad have a pint.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, like that is the absolute best thing about. I mean,
Yeah, morning airport pint is the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Ace of Jace. There's
yeah,
something
but if
about
it's
it,
like,
isn't
even if
it?
it's like 4 o'clock in the morning before like a 5 a.m. flight, it's like you got a Guinness.
So we got a
Or,
7
I
we got a 7
realised-
a.m. flight. So I'm gonna go to
6
go and have
a.m.
breakfast at
pint.
the
Lovely,
yeah.
lovely old job. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you
I
can
realised the
do.
other
At
day my
airports.
passport expired last month, and I was just like, can't really think when I'm gonna need to renew
Yep.
it at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, I've been there. So last time we went on a holiday like this was when Jo was pregnant with Harry.
Shit.
So 11 years ago.
Mhm.
My passport expired soon after that, and it was only last year that I needed to get it done again. It's weird.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
Weird feeling.
Right. Yeah, it's not really blue though, Scientologist. It's sort of like a black.
Was it?
It's like a really, yeah, it's not really blue. That's all they wanted was their blue passports. They didn't fucking get them. Right, everyone hit record.
Hang
Three-
on. Okay.
Oh, my
Go on.
bad.
Am I stopping now and doing it
Yeah,
again?
start again.
Okay.
Start again.
Oh yeah, we stopped ages ago.
No, I mean, okay. Everyone hit record. 3, 2, 1.
Matt.
What were we talking about?
Half-Life
Half-Life.
3.
Okay.
Matt was listing all the ones he's played.
No, but
was short-
that was in the.
that was the
sorry,
question.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where we were.
Well, should we do that?
I know
again?
where we got to.
Okay.
Because we got to the bit where I'd already explained where the initial leak had come from, and now I can talk about the next bit.
Okay.
So
got
it's
them.
Alright, cool.
So, okay, I'm gonna begin.
And a 1 and a 2 and
that was me just getting into the like.
Yeah,
so
make it
he's
nat-
got
make
a
it
little
natural, yeah.
transition bit there.
Should
Yeah.
we do a natural
Ready?
laugh?
I'll try it again.
What?
Okay.
So then next after this, so there was the voice actor credit thing, and then today, which is a Monday, a Valve experts. This is what I'm reading on the thing
Who's
from
the
Eurogamer.
is that
That's
their
me.
job title?
It's
Yeah.
it's
They
some
call
guy
him a
called
plumber. James, they're plumbers.
it's very good. It's somebody called Tyler McVicker, who's yeah.
Which is definitely not made up.
So he's saying that all of these rumors are true. It's all like completely true, and it seems to be a fully fledged non-VR Half-Life game. Something that seems too good to be true. And he's-
Tyler McVicker going, this is true, this is all completely true, is a character from I Think You Should Leave. Like, this is... I'm Tyler Vicker, and this is true. This is all really true.
So this is the thing. This was a video that he put out, and it says almost everything you're about to hear is real. Is not
Almost.
speculation and comes directly from data miners of Valve's recent updates. It says Valve and the team behind Half-Life Alyx started pre-production on another single-player title around the same time as Half-Life Alyx, and we found out the code name of that title in 2021, which was HLX. And it says there were arguments at that time, and in the few following years, that HLX wasn't actually representative of a fully fledged game in development, but maybe
We've got to try
could
and crack
represent.
this code, boys. What do we think?
But they said maybe this could represent an engine feature or was just a file format for saves, which is quite funny. And this is in the interim, I've been slowly and silently digging into this story. HLX is a confusing one. HLX seems to be a fully fledged non-VR Half-Life game. What I've already said. And it says Valve is actively developing many titles on Source, and this is apparently one of them. And so, yeah, it's going to happen.
This is borderline Farley's Fantasy Zone. Also,
Yeah.
how many times have we heard this story?
Mm.
I think
We've
what's
heard this story
fascinating
millions of times.
with like the Half-Life 3 situation is either they've been sitting on their hands for 15, 20 years, whatever it's been, or the amount of work they have thrown out must be fucking
Oh my,
obscene.
yeah,
But you
they
see,
must have
Like,
Here's what I
done
don't
countless
understand.
games. They're not good enough next.
But what I don't understand about this, right, is that Half-Life 2 like ended like the episode 2.
Yeah, episode
like,
2,
it
yeah.
ended on a cliffhanger, didn't
big
it?
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why could they just not be bothered to finish that at least?
At least just do another episode. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a full. I mean, but then they've left it
Last
so long
time you
now
said that, James. Last time you said that was Shenmue, and look at what happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but they didn't finish the story. Crucially.
Yeah, he didn't finish it again.
No, they didn't, did they? They left it on another cliffhanger.
Well, Half-Life Alex sets up other stuff as well. It's like, and also kind of contextualizes other endings. So they've set themselves up for more. Whether we'll get it, I'm not sure.
That's
But
great.
it's
How are they
exciting.
going to explain that to real gamers though that didn't play Half-Life Alex? That's the question.
Well, they're not real gamers, are they?
Well, are we done with the news?
Yeah, we're done with the news. That's it. All good.
Good. Let's get to what you've been playing. And there is one game that we've all been playing, so we should start there. And the game is Thank Goodness You're Here, which is a comedy game, which I think I asked last week if it was on Game Pass, not remembering the fact that it's not actually coming to Xbox at all. It's PlayStation, Switch, PC. And it is a very strange game. There's not many games that you would describe as a comedy game, right? Jazz Punk could probably get away with saying
Yeah.
that. Most of the South Park games,
And even among games that
Last of
are
Us.
funny, they're not necessarily comedies, are they? As a genre,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, there are funny moments in games, but really, in terms of comedy, there's not much in the way of video games that could fit into that sort of category. This is certainly that. You play a traveling salesman that is. You're waiting for a meeting with the mayor.
Yeah,
and
You're waiting with a meeting with the mayor, I think, to get an agreement to sell products or something in that town.
There's
It's not
something
clear
like
what
that.
you're
Making
even
that
selling,
up.
is it?
And while you're waiting, you decide to go and check the town out. And the town is a fictional northern town where you've got loads of Viz-style characters just blurting stuff out. You've got two actions. You could jump and hit, as well as walking about the place. And that's about it. It's about 2 hours long, 15 quid. Sean
2 hours?
played...
I think it's about 8 hours, I think it's took me.
There's
Still haven't finished it.
Yeah. I'm on chapter 1.
I think I'm really interested to hear what Sean thinks, because Sean played the demo and you were pretty down on it. You then
I wasn't
replayed the
down
demo
on
with
it. It just wasn't much of a game. But I
Right.
think playing the full thing, you kind of settle into that.
Okay,
Right.
cool. So what's your experience with Thank God? I'm assuming we've all finished it, right? Because it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is quite short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because after I talked about the demo, I revisited it and basically let Isaac play it. And obviously he was screaming, laughing for most of it. And so I was like, right, when this comes out, like it's something I'm going to play with Isaac, which is what I ended up doing. Yeah, I had a really great time with it. As I say, it is mechanically very light, but I think that's fine. You still, your interactions are very limited, but it's never, it's not like you're walking from place to place just being like, oh, I just want to activate the next cutscene. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's enough interactivity there that you feel like a participant rather than, it doesn't quite stray into that, like, oh, should this have just been a cartoon territory for me anyway. Like the interactivity and the exploring it was enough to justify it being a game rather than a non-interactive thing.
Right.
See, I agree with you, although there's a section at the end, like right at the end of the game, which kind of, to me, gives an insight into, I kind of wish we'd had more of that throughout the whole experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Where it goes a bit more interactive.
Yeah, it goes a little bit more video gamey. Can you foul those segments? Does it make a difference
No, I
if
don't
you
think so.
foul those segments? Right.
don't
I
Okay.
know.
assumed not. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
there's a song to it, isn't there? So
yeah, I find it so hard to really describe this game in the first place. It's definitely one of those games that I booted up and went, there are certain people, not everyone, but there's certain people that I really want to sit this down in front of, like my brother, for example, just to see him how he reacts to the weird sort of ultra Britishness of it. You know,
Yeah.
like sort of there's a little bit of when I think inspirations behind the comedy, I think there's a lot of Adam and Joe in there. There's a lot of Monty Python's in there. There's a lot of Viz. You know, there's a lot of come back here, you little bastard. You know, all that sort of stuff.
I can feel a little bit like Boosh in there, like not as out
Yeah, a
there,
little bit
but
Boosh.
certainly just that kind of comedy and yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give away too much, like because telling a joke.
Well, that's the
on
thing,
podcast
yeah. Like,
is really
there's so much, like, so many gags here. Like, I write down loads of some of my favorites. I think
Can
maybe
we just say one favourite
yeah,
one each?
one because this game is about the gags, so to talk about all of them would be ruining it. But yeah, I wrote down loads of lines. And this game made me laugh out loud loads.
So if you don't want to know any of the gags and you just want to play this game, then go and get it. Thank goodness you're here.
I mean, you're going to hear 4 gags in a game
gonna hear 4
full
gags,
of them,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
like there's dozens and dozens of them. So
Yeah, and they're very
Probably don't worry about
small gags.
Yeah.
There's not like many long running. Like
Yeah.
I could talk about some of the more long running sequences, but that would spoil it, right? Like
Yeah.
the chimney thing and stuff like that. Like I don't want to go into that because
Yeah.
that stuff was
I-
really, really fucking well done.
Yeah.
I did really appreciate the like Thatcher graffiti throughout the thing, which is
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's lots of background
also,
stuff.
Yeah, there was lots of weird background stuff. Right, okay, so my favourite gag was when you smack the guy on the bum.
Oh, yeah, I wrote that
this
down.
little thing.
I wrote that down.
He pulls down the shutter, gets angry at you, pulls down the shutter, and the sign goes up that says closed due to smacky bum bum.
She's
That
a
just
smacky
really
bum.
made me laugh.
Yeah,
Really made
no,
me
it got
laugh.
me as well because it's
Yeah.
the idea that he had the sign ready to go.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah.
Closed due to smacky bum. It's just so
Yeah.
good.
Go on, Matt, what was yours?
Well, I wrote loads down, but I mean, Wet Dream Catcher made me laugh a lot.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was the one
God.
where I went, oh, I can't really give this to John. Like, it's some real
No, but he's never gonna like twig. He's never gonna. It's just
no,
you know,
but
some
they
words,
do
isn't
say
it?
the word fuck in it as well, don't they, at one point?
yeah, there's a couple of them
Did they?
dropped, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't hear,
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't hear any
a couple
F
of
bombs.
Yeah, there's an
I
F-bomb.
saw a
I'm pretty
Tesco
sure of
bag
it.
that just said wank on it.
yeah.
That's another one. Oh, shit, we're giving away too many gags again. What was the... No, that's
I won't,
fine.
I won't
What
say
was-
any more because I was going to say the one you were going to say, Dave, but now I've had the,
Oh,
the
okay.
wank bag. I'll
What was yours, James?
It was so simple, and it was the guy that was like looking through binoculars, and you
Oh,
like, slap
yeah.
him, and then the first thing is he just says, "I'm looking at tits."
Yeah,
Like that, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm looking
I'm
for. I'm looking
sorry,
for
what?
tits. I'm looking
yeah,
for
I'm
tits.
looking
Yeah.
for tits. That's it. I'm looking for tits, and then it's like I slapped him again, and he was like, "And also these kind of birds."
Yeah. Also
And
shrews
it's-
and so, yeah, herons, whatever. Yeah.
I look, the basic mechanic of the game is that you are wandering around this place. A character will say something to you. It's a very loose sort of quest, and it doesn't really track it for you. There'll just be one character going, I'm looking for a screwdriver." So for the rest of the next bit, you're looking for a screwdriver. Look, I think I come away from it really enjoying it, and I thought the comedy was excellent in it. I thought it was really funny, which is a subjective thing. So I could totally understand if someone played this and went, "I don't find this stuff funny at all."
And if you didn't find it funny, it must be the most annoying thing.
Oh god, because it is relentlessly that joke,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's relentlessly silly voices, stupid puns.
Yeah. Irreverent, random things that appear.
Random, wackiness. It's very wacky. It is a very fucking wacky game. There is a lot of wacky shit in it. But I think I just wanted more from it, to be honest with you, because when I say you're going around a town, there's a bit of a loop, and you do the loop about 5 times
Well,
in 2
It's
hours.
not easy to navigate either, and sometimes
No.
you need
It's
to
not,
know
is
your
it?
way around. And
Yeah.
bit
Yeah, it's funny you
frustrating.
say you wanted more. It's weird for a game that's 2 hours. For me, it kind of outstayed its welcome slightly because
Right.
I was like, okay, I get I'm doing loops and like, okay, this guy wants this thing, so I know I'm gonna have to probably go back to that same place because sometimes you can't go back because you kind of have to do the loop
Yeah.
because for whatever reason you can't go back to like locations 2 or 3 screens ago, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just by the end, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of ready for this 2-hour experience to end. I found it really funny. I really enjoyed it. I think it is definitely worth like the 11 or 13 quid or whatever I paid for it on Switch. Yeah, I just feel it. I don't know.
So-
I don't
so let me
think
expound
it
then.
could be
So when I-
shorter, and but
Yeah.
you know,
when I
me.
say I want more, I don't mean I want this longer. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want more of this. What I wanted is for it to do more with the mechanics. I think I wanted it to do more with the quests. I like sometimes it felt like the quests were just it has a theme where you meet a new character, they say thank goodness you're here, and they tell you their problem. But it doesn't really go any further than I need something, and then you find it, and there's
Yeah,
no
it's
real.
never clear like why you would agree to do any of the things you're like
Well, it's not-
initially.
Well, he's just a helpful young man. That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah,
it's not just that. It's more the fact that it doesn't feel like you're going on a story. It feels like you're seeing it's really segmented, and at no point do the stories cross over with one another to make some sort of crescendo of, oh, I've affected all this. You're basically the character you're playing is basically nothing and is not really involved in the world in any real sense until the end, right? And also, as you said, James, it feels like it should be a game full of mini games when it's got nothing else to offer other than its admittedly brilliant comedy, very funny voice acting, really cool art style. If that's all it's got, you would hope that then it would be packed with mini games and funny things to do and other bits, other layers to it. When really it is a walk left or right, you will get confused every now and then and not know where to go every now and then. But ultimately, you'll just be doing this loop 5 times. You do go, I wanted it a little bit more out of it as a game. I wanted a little bit more out of it as like the quests that you were doing. I wanted something a little bit more substantial there. And ultimately, if this had that and it was more of a game, and I'm not arguing here that games should have more interaction. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this is a 2-hour experience. If it's a 2-hour experience, I don't want at any point going, am I going around this bit again?
Yeah, again.
Like,
Yeah.
is that happening
I mean,
again?
the only thing I'd say about that is that, I mean, one of the things that does happen in this is that, I mean, what you're doing is having impact, like obviously on what's going on. But then also, you do see the way that the environment around you changes quite significantly during those loops. Like,
Yeah,
and
and
because
there's
of
quite
the
a
thing,
It doesn't.
no,
There's
it
quite
does
a few
because
segments
it's
where like there's like fully bespoke like animated sequences for certain bits that I think other games would try and get away with. Well, you'll stay in the same viewpoint and just this one character will animate, but no, this will like change to a completely different viewpoint, which probably doesn't sound that impressive, but it's just clear a lot of work has gone into the animation that they didn't need to do. Right? I think they
But you
deserve some
see-
credit for that. But I know what you mean. Like the environments do change up, but not.
well, no,
And
because
they
they
do play
also
on
they
that
also
repetition
get
as well.
like progressively worse as well, like as you're going
Yeah.
through it, because like all the things you're doing, it's just creating chaos, and it's
Yeah.
like the whole environment gets like progressively worse and worse as you're playing, which is quite interesting.
The repetition gags are brilliant. Like they're really good, but
Yeah, they're well done.
they don't justify going around the town 5 times, in my opinion.
No, and
I think
especially there's certain bits where, so it will arbitrarily put an obstacle in
Yes.
the way you want to go, and then you go a different route. And I can see, like in some cases, they've done that because there is a repetition gag.
yeah.
But there were times when I'd already triggered that enough, and it was over, and I was still having to go like a stupid route around to get somewhere.
Oh,
I
really?
needed. Yeah. Which I
So
guess
the-
is just an edge case, like probably that worked for most people. But yeah.
I know what you mean though. I would have appreciated, I think, a bit more like mini-gamey sort of stuff in this to make it a bit more interesting.
Stuff.
You know?
Yeah, less. Yeah, because the only way you progress is by walking somewhere else. And also, it's like I gave this to Harry, and he was really enjoying it, and then just went, I don't know what. How do I get to the next bit? And I was like,
Oh,
well, look
yeah,
around.
exactly that.
And he's like, well, I don't know where to go. So can you? What am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah, it gets to a point where you basically kind of like, okay, just talk to everyone, okay, and then walk forward, talk to everyone. I mean,
Which, of course, you can't
okay.
talk to anyone. You can walk up and you can smack them.
yeah,
slap
you
them
slap
down.
them
So
to get the next
That's
dialogue
your only
line.
means
That
of
also
interaction.
got quite tiresome as well, I thought.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
that
whole
did,
thing of
yeah,
just
yeah,
like having to
yeah.
slap everything, I found
Yeah.
a bit boring.
Well, especially like because it, like Isaac really enjoyed it, and I had a really good time playing it with him. But it did give him the wrong idea because he was just like, "Oh, it's a game where you run around and hit people," because that was
Yeah.
that's the only verb you're given, right?
Yeah,
and I have to
yeah.
be like, "No, Isaac, you're not supposed to you're supposed to run up to people and give them 1 or 2 smacks to see what they do." you're not supposed to just run around going bam 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 and just like hammering everyone.
Yeah, but was he laughing at doing that?
Oh yeah,
Because then the game's done its thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, I think it has some really cool stuff. I just kind of felt a little bit like, oh, this feels like it should have been more than it was, which is probably a really bad thing to say if anyone's listening that worked on that game and put their love and soul into it for ages. Also, kind of strange to get Matt Berry in the voice cast and make him not sound like him.
Yeah, he only just about sound like him, wasn't it?
So really brief, like it.
Yeah.
Well, he probably
No, he's in it a few times, isn't he?
Well, he's in it for a few loops.
But then I feel like a lot of the other voice actors do quite a few characters, whereas he's like just one or two, isn't he? I should say, John Log Blythe is in.
Yeah,
he's Big Ron.
Big Ron,
I thought
yeah.
he was very good. M Humble as well. She's amazing. Follow her on Instagram. She's very funny. So I think she does basically all the female characters.
I do think that some of the voice acting was a bit.
Yes.
It's
I
not
feel
all
bad
brilliant,
because
is
there's
it?
one person in particular. Every time their voice came in, I was just like, oh god.
Same. I wonder if it's the same one.
I bet it is.
I bet it is too.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's just strange because it feels like clearly they had some money to spend on voice talent.
Yep.
So if it's like, I don't know, if there's one voice in particular, and I'm again sorry for singling someone out. But I was like, oh, is this just like one of the devs?
I'm doing it now, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Go on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, very funny. As you say, yeah, very light mechanically.
Yeah.
But I think there is without spoiling it, there is a nod to that. Did you all sit through the credits?
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually.
There's a thing at the end.
Oh,
It's worth-
fuck.
Yeah. You can probably just view the credits, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
you-
probably.
yeah.
I'll do that.
Do
Can you check your WhatsApp and see if it's the same person we were talking about, Sean?
Well, I
Here
think
we
they
go.
did like a bunch of voices. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Bad.
But I think also I kind of broadly agree with what Matt said as well, like about the whole starting to feel like when you get closer to the end, just feeling like I've had enough now at this point.
Yeah, but then it ends in like that bit at the end is the best bit in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then you're just like, oh, I wish I'd had some more of this. Would have been nice. Like,
Yeah,
throughout.
yeah, you
And
totally
it is
right.
a very
You're totally right.
abrupt ending as well, isn't it? It's very
Yes, it
sort
is.
of like, oh right, and that and I've killed enough time, and now it's So I don't,
Yeah, no,
I
it's the
don't want to spoil it. There's not really much to spoil.
No, there's not. There's not.
narratively,
But I will definitely be looking out for the next one of these games. I mean, who knows how well this is done? I can't imagine people in Middle America sitting there going, like,
Well,
I
no,
was
'cause
chuckling at the credits because it goes through like all the other countries it's been localized for, and part of you just thinks,
Yeah.
like, why did you bother? Like,
Yeah.
surely this doesn't
Well, see,
travel.
I don't know how you would localize like a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff because it's all
I mean,
about
I,
dialect
like-
and
I'm aware Dave did this earlier. I'm not having a go, but everyone being
Sure.
like, oh yeah, it's like a Northern English town. It's like Northern England is not one place, right? It's this in no way tallies with my experience of growing up in the Northwest.
So I was going to ask you
I
about
don't
this,
think
Sean.
anyone was
Is it-
suggesting it was that, but it is based on a Northern English town, isn't it? Everyone's got Northern
Well,
Yeah,
accent.
I'm just saying,
on a
you'll never
fictional,
say,
yeah,
oh, it's
yeah.
based on a Southern English town. You'd be like, well, there's loads of really different ones.
No,
So why would
everywhere
you-
down south gets described as Cockney. That's the
It
equivalent.
does, it's just
Sean.
it's London. That's what town sound
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I don't know. It leans into a lot of stereotypes about Northerners.
Yeah, I was
Thought it was odd.
I was kind of mixed about this. So as someone who spent, grew up down south and then moved up in 2007, and so all my life it's been like, bloody old Northerners, and other Southerners, you have this view of Northerners.
Do ya?
Yes, I think so.
And the
I've-
game really
I've
sort of
never had
plays
that.
into that.
Oh, okay.
But I know the developers are from Yorkshire, right? I'm not saying
Yeah.
Like they're allowed to say whatever they want about Yorkshire.
Oh, well, this is it, isn't it? Like, I never saw, like, as a Southerner playing this game, right? I never looked at this game and thought, oh, this is taking the piss out of the North. Or it
No, yeah,
felt
that's- yeah.
lovingly proud of, the phrases and the
Yeah,
turns
yeah.
of phrases that are used up north and
The
stuff.
fuck it at the
Like-
start where you get the choice of subtitles.
Yeah.
Are they from town or whatever?
Yeah. I never once thought this was derogatory towards the North. Like, and maybe that's wrong because I'm not able to decide that. But like,
I think
it really did feel like a
I
lovely.
was just excited to learn something about
representation
Sean's
to it.
culture.
Sean's people, yeah.
And like, as someone who has had to spend time educating certain Southern friends, Dave, don't guess because you will get it right, about the North not all being cold, grey mining towns. Part of me was like, is this helpful? I don't... But as I say, it's not. It's the developers talking about their experiences and their experience of growing up, presumably, right?
Yeah.
It's set where they are based, and it's fine if that's how they want to, like, if this is how they want to talk about it.
But
as someone that doesn't look, I really felt that it was a love letter rather than it was it's like a self-deprecating love letter. It feels like when I watch Attack the Block. I don't know if you've seen that film, but it's very like set in South London or whatever.
Yeah, that's a Joe Cornish movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like, of course, South London's not like that, but it really did feel like a love letter to that side of the place that I grew up in. Like, this felt like, it's no surprise that they're based up there for me, because I was thinking, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be commenting about this, but it really did feel like that.
Like you're saying, it's like a self-deprecating love letter. I suppose my point is, could we have a non-self-deprecating love letter? Do you know what I mean?
There has been, hasn't there? Like, so wasn't not Dear Esther. Everyone's gone to the Rapture set in a northern town.
No, that was. Fuck, where was that set? I can't remember.
Cockney, London.
Wasn't that like, it wasn't Kent, but it was like that kind of.
Bloody hell, I've never seen a place in Kent look like that.
The south. It was, I don't know actually. I think it was like just non-specific rural village, wasn't it? I think.
Oh right, okay.
Maybe. I'll have to check.
Yeah, I don't know.
But just the whole north-south thing, like as someone who grew up and had like views of what I thought Northerners were, and then I'm up here in Leeds, and I love Leeds, and I've been up here since 2007. But it's kind of weird, like when you have like news, and like they go to like a random tiny northern town, and they get people on the street to talk about politics, whatever. It's like the media's trying to portray this view of like Northerners as dumb idiots, basically. And so when I was down south,
the language you're using is insane.
I'm up here. I'm like, what? It just feels like they go to specific places to portray Northerners a certain way, and that's what I think. Growing up, I had a certain view of Northerners, and this for me, I'm kind of caught between: is this a love letter? Is it kind of, as Sean says, playing into stereotypes? I'm not sure if you like see or experience that, Sean. It's like, I don't know, it just seems like they always do it. Like, but Normans aren't idiots, but it seems like the media portrays them in certain ways to get like certain vox pop, certain like views on whatever it's in politics, whatever it's They don't go to like metropolitan cities.
Very few like northwestern voices in characters in games, right? And if they are, they're a peasant or somebody who works in.
It's like a tweet about like every time it's northern, it's like like Game of Thrones, whatever. It's always
I should say Phil was just put in the chat, so everyone's gone to the Rapture was set in the fictional Shropshire village, so sort of West Midlands.
But then I could say genuinely that whenever Cockneys are represented or people from London are represented, they're either thieves or there's something dodgy about them.
That's 100% fair.
That's true.
It's the getaway or fucking shit like that.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
But you can tell those people are from Yorkshire, and I can see what you mean, but I don't know. It's still funny, even though it's only short, and I thought maybe it could have been shorter. I still thought it's worth it for the gags alone. Frankly, I haven't laughed at a game like this for. I can't remember last time I laughed at a game like this.
From the outset, really. As we've said many times, making a comedy game is like borderline impossible. So the fact that this basically works is really impressive. I'm really keen to see what they do next, as you say.
Yeah, someone was saying in the chat about a previous game. So have you played their previous game, Sean?
I haven't. There's one, isn't there, on Steam, and it's free. I think it leans more into the sort of weird, not body horror stuff, but
body horror,
but weird. Oh
I know what you're saying. I just saw a video of it, and it's there's like you cross a bridge by like a mouth coming out of the side of a cliff and a tongue rolling out.
Yeah.
and
What's the
all
previous
that
game
sort of
called?
shit. The Good Time Garden.
That's
Okay,
the one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks disgusting.
Yeah, and there's shades of that in. Thank goodness you're here.
There
One bit
is,
in
yeah.
particular, but I think it's. I mean, Isaac just laughed throughout. I was a bit like, "Is this all right? Is he okay?" And then he was just laughing. So I think we're fine.
There's definitely
Choo Choo
stuff
Charles
in it
next.
though that. Oh yeah, whack 'em on Choo Choo Charles. Be loving that. Loving that. So that's thank goodness you're here. James, you've got Lost Judgment down. We've really talked about another fucking. Go on.
No, I mean, I just want to talk about this briefly because I mean, I think this might be the worst game that the Yakuza team have ever put out.
Really?
But honestly,
Oh,
yeah, I'm really not particularly enjoying it at all, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm just like I don't even think I'm going to bother doing any of the like sub stories or anything because they're just not.
I thought you were going to say, I'm just going to stop playing it. You know, I'm really
No,
not
don't
enjoying
do
it.
that.
I
Can't
think
do
it's
that.
the worst game they've put out.
Still got to finish
So
it.
I'm not going to do all of the side
Yeah.
missions.
No, because the thing is, right, is the core story I don't think is particularly interesting, and it's made me feel quite uncomfortable in places as well because of the way that they've used like female protagonists. And this is not about sort of overt sexualization, but some of the messages that are being sent out regarding motivations of like characters and stuff like that don't feel that great to me, like the way that it's being put across. But the biggest problem is the schools, because like the whole thing's set in a school, so you're supposed to be like investigating the murder of somebody who went to the school, and like you go there and you find it's all involving like bullying that's been taking part in the school and all that kind of stuff. And the problem is that it feels consistently uncomfortable because Yagami, who's like the main character, is just under 40, although he looks older than that. And the whole game is like this sort of like him being down with the kids, like in a way. And it feels a kind of, and the trouble is he's not I don't think he's a very interesting like protagonist. He's got no charm, I don't think. And he just comes off a bit creepy like the whole time. And it's a bit weird, like, and he goes around like beating like, children, like they are children still, these are like students, you get into like fights with students and you're like, you're just like, you're nearly 40 and you're like brawling with 15-year-olds. This is like really sad and weird.
Living the dream.
Yeah. And it's also just, the problem
Did
is
you say get a life to them on skate parks?
Sad.
We didn't
that's
say
the
that on the
thing.
show, so that's completely lost on everyone listening. Sorry, everyone.
He
Go on.
even rides around on a skateboard, like around the city. Like you
Like
get a
that Murray.
skateboard and you're
What's
like
wrong with
riding around on a skateboard. It's really like
What's wrong with that, mate? What are you saying? 40-year-olds can't skateboard?
not like this.
Well, we know
Matt.
they
I don't
can't
think
fucking
you're-
snowboard.
No, I only broke one wrist.
I mean, Matt, are you skateboarding in a leather jacket and like do like the whole
No,
thing?
just speedos.
Yeah. And it's just not interesting. That's the problem, and it's because he's not a great character. Like after playing the other two that I played recently, like where you got like Ichiban and people like that, it's such a brilliant cast of characters that you're like, I'm loving. Even mediocre side stories are still worth it because they're funny, because of these characters. With this one, it's just like I don't really care about his interactions with people because they're not very interesting, and it's just I don't know. I feel
Stop playing it.
no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
have you done too many in a short space of
Stop
time,
playing it.
James?
I don't think so. No, because this really is quite different to the others. But it's just, I mean, I want to finish the main story, but then I don't think I'm going to do all the other stuff like I usually do because it's just not very interesting. It's it's a shame. But
It is a shame
yeah.
because I know we talked
Right.
about, so they haven't got the right to the guy's face anymore, right? So
Yeah.
there's not going to be any more Judgment games, but it is a shame to not like. It doesn't necessarily need to be a Judgment game, but I quite liked the idea of being like, right, it's the same place again, it's the same world, but it's a different angle on it. It's the private investigator, and rather than just being more Yakuza stuff.
Yeah.
Thought that was cool. So it's a shame that we're probably not going to get more of that.
And that's
But-
that's the thing because it really worked in the first one of these. Like it was great. Like I really enjoyed that one, but it just feels like putting him in this environment with this story just doesn't work. And it's just it's just disappointing. Yeah.
Stop playing it then. I don't get you
Not
at
going
all.
to do that.
Why not? What? Like, why are you saying that to me like I'm an idiot?
Because I still want to finish the story. I like finishing stories. I'm sorry, I just do. It might get better.
Life is worth more than this, James.
No, but it
I
might
don't know
get
if
better.
it is, Sean.
It might get better.
Don't know if it is. Go on, Sean. What games you got for us?
I've been playing Dungeons of Hinterberg,
Oh yes.
Okay.
which I've been excited about for a little while, and then came out on Game Pass the other week. But it came out like within days of Kunitsugami, which was like the only thing I've played for ages. Yeah, so this is a third-person action RPG where it's a cool setup, right? Because basically the idea is there's this village in the Alps. I think it's in the Alps, European mountains, and for whatever reason, there's this one area where dungeons started appearing and magic became a thing, but it's only in this one area, right? And it became a tourist spot where people go on holiday to do dungeons and batter monsters and have an enjoyable time doing that, which I think is quite a fun setup for this sort of thing. So you play this woman who, like, I think she's like a lawyer or something, and she hates it, and she's come on this holiday to like forget about her real life, and like, is she out there to like find herself, or is she just letting off steam bashing monsters? That's kind of up to you and the dialogue choices you make and stuff. But
Right.
basically the setup is you every day you wake up and you choose like which area. So there's like 4 different like free roam areas within which there's like a bunch of dungeons, different difficulty levels. And then so you go into one of those, you do a dungeon, time passes, and then in the evening there's like social stuff. So you'll go into the town and then you can do
Is
some
that when everyone
shopping
logs
and-
off and stops listening? Is that
and then like so there's people you can hang out with, and they give you different bonuses and obviously different story paths and stuff. Sometimes there'll be events that are like happening in the town, so you won't get any choice what to do that evening. But yeah, and then you go to bed, and then it carries on the next day. It's really good. I really like it. It's the dungeons. There's puzzles in them, but they're Zelda-ish.
Oh,
they're
cool.
they're very much like ability based. So each of the 4 free roam areas that I mentioned, each of those gives you a set of magic powers, but that's the only, like, you'll only get that area's magic powers while you're there, right? So each of the dungeons is built around the magic powers you get in that area. It's not like you get more powers and then you can use them in combination with previous ones. It's always just the powers from that area, which kind of seems a shame, because obviously the fun of like progressing in something like a Zelda game is when you get later on and you're using different powers in conjunction with each other. Maybe it finds a way to do that, I don't know, but at the moment it seems very much like it's split up. But yeah, I've properly enjoyed it. Like, the combat is fine. It feels a bit sticky. Like, it's very much like animation priority, right? So when you hit the attack button, you have to wait for the entire animation to play out before you can like slip in a dodge. Right? There's no like canceling into dodges or anything, which, you know, whether you know it or not, you're probably used to by now with like action games. So it does feel a bit stiff. But once you get into like, I mean, you know, as far as melee combat's concerned, it's the standard move set. It's, you know, normal attack, heavy attack, dodge roll. But then you start, like, as you progress, you talk to someone who's like, oh no, here's like how you equip like special melee attacks and stuff, and then they're quite fun. And then you start getting upgrades for your gear and stuff. That's one thing that's kind of a shame, is, don't know why, but games like this, it always matters a lot to me that when I equip new things, it changes my character's appearance. I'd like playing dress up, I guess. I don't know. But in this, it changes your sword, but that's it. Like, the character has the same outfit, even though you're clearly equipping different clothes, which, it's not a problem, but I don't know. I like put, you know, be like, oh yeah, this has better stats, but this looks cooler, so maybe I'll equip the cooler one. But yeah, it's just, it's been really enjoyable. The puzzles are like, they haven't become stupidly difficult yet. They've all been quite light touch, but there's just a really nice sort of balance of like, oh, I'm slightly stuck, and then, oh no shit, I was looking at this the wrong way or wasn't thinking about this properly, and yeah, feeling smart. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's very, like, I mean, it's probably going to keep me going until SteamWorld Heist 2 comes out at the end of this week, and then I'll probably never look back. But as a little filler. It's been really nice.
It looks gorgeous as well. Like the cell shading is really nice.
Art style. Yeah. And there's like, and it's cool that like you go to one of these areas where all the dungeons are, and there are like scenic spots, and you can just choose not to do a dungeon that day, and there are different bonuses for doing that. Like it affects different stats and stuff, and sometimes like sure, I'll just fucking hang out. And it's cool.
Cool.
And very briefly, I've finally started playing the Case of the Golden Idol,
Nice.
based on our chat about it the other week. Oh, it's fucking great, isn't it?
It really
Is it
is,
good?
yeah.
It's so good. The feeling when so brief recap. We talked about it recently. Yeah, this is one where you are presented with a scene or like a number of scenes. It takes a bit of getting used to the fact that like it makes no real sense, does it? It's like, well, who am I? Why?
Yeah,
am I
nothing's really
looking at-
explained.
why am I looking at this like murder taking place in front of me, and I'm like forensically picking.
So
through
when
the
you say
scene,
scene, it's literally just a picture, isn't it? Essentially, isn't it?
yeah, or like sometimes like
Yeah, it's like screens. Yeah, so one might be the first one is like one screen essentially. The other one might be like two, but yeah, you can go back
Right.
and forward.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And as you sort of uncovering things, or you might click on someone and they'll have like a line of dialogue that they are currently saying. So it's like if you're one of those people, because I often get hung up on like, but who am I? What am I? How am I able to do that? Like, it doesn't matter. You're just looking at these things and you're piecing it together. And then you've got there'll be like a sentence that you have to complete, like Matt was saying the other week, and then also there'll be like portraits of all the characters, and you've got to put all their names to it. The feeling when you just put that last character's name in and you got them all right, are just so good. Like, because it only tells you when you've put them all in, doesn't it? And
So
it'll say, like,
if you've got like two wrong, it'll say basically it'll say they're all wrong. You put them all in, it might say there's two or
less wrong,
two or less
incorrect.
Okay,
But then sometimes, you'll just put the last one in, and you're like, I could either have completely lost the thread, or I am on the right track. And you put the last one in, and it's like green, and it's like, fucking get in. Which was a feeling I never really got with Return of the Obra Dinn, because that just felt like constantly sort of muddling through and being like, oh fuck, I don't know. This feels a lot like that loop between guesswork and finding out if you're right or not feels a bit tighter in this. Properly enjoying it. Good stuff.
What scenario are you up to so far?
So I'm literally, I think I'm like halfway through like the second set or the second chapter or whatever. So not very far yet, but loving it.
I reckon.
I need to get that. I think for the Switch for the Miola days.
I think you really like it.
One.
It's a bit too gruesome for kids. Sadly, well, it's very, very too gruesome for kids. But
yeah,
good stuff.
Okay,
questions.
that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get on to questions and then go.
If you want to contact us, go to tcgs.co/Dear TCGS. Dynamite Dildo Dean says another fantastic midday stream from Mr. Bell on Friday with Go Beckham. What other existing games would TCGS change by retrospectively placing a video game character with a known celebrity or sporting hero? Much love, Dean.
Oh, good question. Who would? I mean, I could go wacky and say, "Oh, Last of Us with Duncan Goodhue," but it feels like that's just.
See, I don't know enough about any
Partridge.
sporting heroes to make like a funny.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you do. You know NBA and that, don't you?
Not
You know, with the Tranmere team of the 90s.
Yeah, the Tranmere team. Yeah. Matt.
Well, I mean, it says with a known celebrity. I was going to say Judge Rinder, and I was trying to find the game that Judge Rinder should be in.
Phoenix, right?
How about Life is Strange with Ian Lee? Go stick him in it.
That would be great.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Well, you better now because you live in it, son. Yeah. So if you could just look through go into that place and rewind time a little bit to get the puzzle right.
This is a bit, not too much. Sorry, I've got no offense to Dean, but I feel like we've let him down, and maybe I shouldn't have read this one out.
I don't think I've been knocking them out.
Yeah, Dave,
I don't say we. Don't say we there. James, what do you think? Come on, James.
Oh,
checked out, hasn't he?
He was hoping he'd got away with this one.
I was.
Yeah,
For a second, I was hoping I got away with it.
I looked over at him and he was half asleep. We could
I
tell
was
he was
thinking-
just
I mean-
out. He was done.
Known celebrity. I mean, I don't know. What are the sporting heroes? I can't think of any.
What are the sporting?
What
What are
heroes?
the sporting heroes?
Finally got an
I've been
episode
watching
name.
the-
Yeah,
I'm
we've got
watching
an
the Olympics on and
episode
off all
title.
week, and I haven't learned a single name
No,
of a
me neither.
single athlete.
Oh, I haven't seen any of that, unfortunately.
Oh, it's been good, man.
Sporting heroes. Messi, Ronaldo. For you it'd be Joe 2, wouldn't it? Old Joe 2. John Tezza.
Captain Leader Legend. In
Yeah,
Elden
True
Ring.
Blue. True Blue.
Yeah.
Buying time.
I just need to think about it. I can't think of anything at the moment. I genuinely can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay, we'll wait.
It's, Can we move on to the next question? I'll think
No.
of one.
We'll wait.
Do you know? I'll tell you what, right?
Here we go.
I don't know why
Just
this name's
Google
just
sporting
come to my
heroes.
head. No, this has just come to my head. I'm just thinking of. I was thinking of Dave Besant, and I don't know why I was thinking of Dave Besant,
Yeah.
which
Okay,
is
yeah.
yeah.
I haven't heard
But
that
Dave
name
Besant in what?
ages.
I don't know. I mean, Dave Besant may be in Vice City. There you go. He could be Tommy Vercetti. There you go.
Decent. I mean, I'll take that.
Best I can think of.
Hung on.
Yeah.
Worth the wait.
No, I've got nothing, James. So I can't.
Okay.
How can
can't
the
get
episode
that.
title be Dave Besant in Vice City?
It's quite
I
long.
don't know why I was thinking of him like suddenly. It's weird, that, isn't it?
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's weird, isn't it? Shame it wasn't funny though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Should we get to the next question?
It's a good goalkeeper. Go on.
Sam Saute Pan says, "Hey lads, as we close in on release day for Star Wars Outlaws, I thought I'd offer to put my thumb on the scale a bit. They still have the login for a gaming blog that is no longer a going concern, but they're still listed on OpenCritic.
No,
I can do
way.
a 10 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10. Matt and James, who has the best deal to offer me? P.S. I'm the person who found the pod via Marvel calls. Please bring it back. I miss it. Sam."
Oh,
OpenCritic
cheers, Sam.
doesn't count, does it? It's
No,
Metacritic.
it's
Metacritic's the
Metacritic.
one where...
That sounded like you gulped then. you were drinking. It was like
I was drinking.
Matt's already put together like a full package for like this person. And then-
Yeah, I've already reached out
Whole
to
thing.
Sam Saute Pan, and
Well, if it's
we're hoping to get
OpenCritic, then
contracts
it's
signed
worthless to us.
imminently.
to you.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Never
OpenCritic
mind.
does not count.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have read that one out. Either.
okay.
Maria
Well,
Mendes-
no,
sorry,
I
Sam.
think James, if it's Metacritic, well, what kind of deal would you give Sam Saute Pan?
I wouldn't, because I'm fully confident in the integrity of the system. So there you go.
Well, even if they gave it a 10 out of 10, you don't think that'll swing the needle or whatever it's called? What do they
Move
say?
the
Push
needle.
the needle. Move the needle. Push the needle.
Nah.
Not
The needle.
swing the needle.
I don't
That's dangerous, if anything.
It's-
Next question.
Oh, no. I just want to say, if anyone else is listening and they do have a gaming blog that is on Metacritic, reach out to me. I think we can talk.
You're a gamer, get in touch.
Okay.
I need all the help I can get.
IGN.
If I end up getting
Not
a
then.
tattoo because Matt has cheated, I'll be
Oh,
furious.
but the banter though, James, would be
I love
incredible.
it so much.
That
if
would be.
was the
Oh
case.
yeah, and I'll reveal it later, maybe during a Gotti show. Like,
James,
do you
you're
know,
like,
what
you're
we-
paying to have this
furious.
lasered off. I'm
yeah,
not.
do you know those 10 out of 10s?
So I say,
Listeners
okay,
reached
Matt,
out.
You are paying to have this tattoo removed.
So that was not part of the agreement. I set up loads of splinter sites that for months have been like doing reviews to get on Metacritic, and then launch day, bang, 10s all day long.
I love that.
Fuck,
Maria
I should have done that.
Mendieta
I should have done that. Shit.
says, "Dear TCGS coattailing mission, racing games like those in the Forza series give me more camera options than I ever actually use. Being a plain person, I go with a third-person view, but I'm always amazed by those who can maneuver around the track using odd angles like hood or helicopter/cinematic view. What is a quirky camera angle you hope to one day see in a racing title? Keep up the unbelievable
It's
work.
got-
Sincerely."
I've got an answer for
It's
this.
got to be exhaust pipe, isn't it?
What,
looking out the back
just
of the
looking out the back of
GoPro in the exhaust pipe. Just looking
You
out
got
the back.
that, and all the smoke like coming out as well, obscuring the view. It's quirky, you know.
I mean, plus you're looking the wrong way. That's the real.
Yeah.
Yeah, crucially.
Again,
Can't
she
see
said,
going.
she said quirky. I think
She did
I've-
say quirky.
I've
Could
nailed
what
the
about?
brief there.
Could you have the perspective of someone who's like clinging to the bottom of the car, so it's like upside down, and you just hear them just screaming the entire time?
Mine would be the middle back seat.
Middleback seat,
Where
that's good.
Every
On a-
now and
on
then
like a-
you've got to look
on like a
down
high
and
chair.
avoid to make sure that you're not, leaning too much over to the seats either side. Middleback
Someone
seat.
should do it's like a racing game, but you play as like a bored baby in the back seat.
Yeah. Dad's on the autobahn. That's what the game's going to be called. Dad's on the autobahn, and you're sitting there going, Dad. Matt, what was you said you had a good one.
Well, yeah, mine isn't as cool now. You remember in they probably still do it in GTA games where it's
the
got,
other front seat.
yeah, damn it. But is it like GTA games where you have like that camera angle where it's almost like cinematic mode and it's looks like like that, but like trying to play an actual racing game where it's constantly changing and essentially you're seeing the car coming towards you or over you or from different angles. Imagine doing a
I
whole.
don't wish to ruin this, but Maria
What?
did already mention that
Oh,
camera.
well, I think.
Matt, you really did fumble that one, didn't you?
Hang on, helicopter cinematic, yeah, whatever.
Using odd angles like HUD or helicopter/cinematic view.
Well, they didn't say I couldn't use it, so I've
No, but I
selected
think
exactly
the idea was to come up with your
Okay,
own.
put middle seat there. Middle seat. My middle seat.
Done
A
that
series of
again.
mirrors.
Oh,
A series
no,
of
that was
mirrors.
mine.
A series of
Series
mirrors,
of-
isn't it? Yeah. So basically,
A
everything when you go
series of
left,
mirrors.
when you go left, you need to go right. But actually, you need to turn left. It's very.
What about it's a GoPro on the bonnet, but it's not actually attached to the car. So if you go too fast, it just fucking rattles off and falls
Excellent.
on the floor.
A good one.
Yeah.
A good one. Back
Yeah.
over to you, Matt.
I was thinking to like two GoPros, and they're looking at each other.
Okay. Next.
Olive Olympics says, "Oh no,
We-
Team GB have been struck down with some virus that gives athletes the runs, and TCGS have been called up to compete in their place. What sports do you each think the other three would be good at? I reckon
Good
James would be a
question.
surprise hit with a javelin or throwing hammer. Matt would crush the 100-meter sprint. Sean would nail the high dive, and Dave would be well up for something horse-based. Rumour has it France are after Kane and Rince.
The fuck does that mean? The horse-based thing.
Yeah, you'd be doing like dressage
Yeah,
or
you
something.
like, yeah,
David.
equestrian.
I think you're right. Out of the four of us, 100-meter sprint, Matt would. Who?
Nah,
Excuse
I
me,
would put
I was
forward.
100-meter champion at high school.
Yeah,
and
that sounds like a
physically,
Sean thing.
Nothing has changed since. So
Right.
Still the same
So,
person.
You know what that means? We're doing a 100-meter race between you two next time we're together,
Oh, I love that.
which will be in Sutton because that's where the tattoo's happening.
Yeah.
So I am definitely setting up a 100-meter race.
Why can't all four of us do it?
Well, we can
There's a
we can
track
film
down
that as well. You know,
because
I can't wait for,
I know that I'm
me
going
to,
to lose. This is
actually
between
injure
the two
myself.
competitors.
Man, let's all four of us do it to make it fun.
no, I'm not doing it. I think you two.
Yeah, I ain't
should
doing it
definitely.
either.
Yeah.
Matt versus Sean, the
Fine.
race.
I'll be up for
That'd
that.
be good.
I'm not really built for speed, but yeah, I'll do it. Why not?
One
yeah, the
thing
Matt's
that
built for
always
longevity.
Yeah, or Bay that actually.
One thing that always
Uh,
confused me, I'd love to know the history behind it, and I bet someone's got a boring answer for the feedback next week, but I'm not here next week, so I don't care.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Do you reckon someone was like really good at long jump? Like someone was fucking great at long jump, and then they went to Olympics and they were like the eighth best at the Olympics, and they just went, oh, fucking hell. What I really wanted. No, guys, come here, new one, right? It's long jump, but before you got to do a hop and a skip. So that's what.
That's
what?
the new rule. That's the
Gotta
new
do
rules,
what?
actually.
Yeah.
No, it's a new one. It's a new one.
Yeah.
It's a new one. I'm the best at it. Oh, look, I've won. You go, but no one knows why this is even a thing. Well, it is, mate. It is a thing. It's called the
I'm sorry if you've not heard of it, but
Yeah, but Steve's really good at it, but he does two. No, it's triple. It's triple. No, but not double. No, it's not double jump. It
the
has to be
rules
triple.
are
Actually,
it's triple jump.
yeah, it's always been that in a way.
Yeah.
Someone
So-
asked me at work the other day, why isn't darts an Olympic sport? Have we got an answer for that?
I don't know.
It
There's
should
plenty
be.
of other sort of
Well, that's what I was
skill-based-
thinking. I was thinking
Yeah.
because classically it's been classed as a game rather than a sport. And then I
Right.
turned on the telly and everyone's talking about the shooting.
Yeah.
And I just
yeah.
thought, well,
Archery.
that's yeah, that's not as good, is it? Darts
Well,
is
it
the
is
best.
because of the memes. It's because of the competitors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Anyway,
shooting
I'd be
involves
there for the
guns.
darts. Guns. Oh yeah, you'd be the gun guy,
more
wouldn't you?
exciting.
Of course.
Yeah. He'll be the gun
Would
guy.
you be like the guys that have those little weird glasses that they wear. You know, it's like there's like a retina, there's like a crosshair on their glass. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
But the guy that got the silver medal just
Yeah,
turned up
just
in some
hands in his
jeans and a
pocket.
t-shirt.
Yeah, a polo shirt, whatever.
He had flip flops on as well. I mean, it's like
that's
it's the
James.
best. I'd love to emulate that style. I think that was brilliant.
Mine, of course, would be judo. Next question.
Last question.
Fighting.
Comes from MD Kraboffs. He says, "What's something that the other three would be surprised to learn about you?"
Well,
I mean,
we did
come
this.
on, after all these years, it's like
Fucking
I
hell.
can't think of
Yeah,
anything.
I know.
My
We
entire
did.
life
We
has
did a
been
bonus
strip-lined for
show.
content. Sorry, go on.
We did a bonus show where we each had to submit our. I think I can actually get this.
Oh yeah.
Now
Oh,
We put
was this
three
like
facts about ourselves
three
onto
facts?
a pot, didn't we? And we had
we
to...
submitted 3 facts about ourselves anonymously, and we on the bonus show we had to guess whose fact. I won't spoil
Oh
it.
god, yeah, this was ages ago, wasn't it? Oh,
Yeah, it was ages
good.
ago, but
Good
it was
fun.
pretty good.
I'm scared
got
to.
them-
I
they're
can't
in
remember
the
what I
same-
took.
ones,
what
aren't they?
one of mine was. Sorry.
I can't remember any of mine. Jesus.
Facts. Here we go. So here are the ones I've got. So these were the facts that we read out about each other, and I'm not going to tell you are. It's on the bonus show. You can find out who these relate to.
Quite scared.
Pay up.
I try and keep a straight face. I once sang on Capital Radio, Capital Gold, and got Pat Sharp's autograph. I've once got into a fight for absolutely no reason in primary school and absolutely battered the other kid. I didn't get into any trouble, and years later, I found out that some people were afraid to talk to me for several months afterwards. Fact 3. I have only shoplifted once in my life. I stole a book on the complete history of Rare. I first drank a cup of tea at the age of 35. Before that, I had never drank a cup of tea. My first girlfriend... Okay, we'll leave that one. That's not for open air. My first girlfriend once gave me
Oh,
in the cinema. And
You can say it, can't you?
Well,
Yeah.
probably
I
not.
think you could say it and then someone could bleep it.
Yeah. Okay. Pegging.
I once evacuated a hotel by accident. I have received a lifetime ban from a campsite. I couldn't swallow tablets until the age of 19. Those were our facts. Yeah, I need to go back and listen to that episode. That was quite good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Is that it?
That's an advert for our Patreon. We haven't answered the question.
We don't need to. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing.
It's
James
being
has
content.
decided. Have I ever told you guys that I did a clinical trial once? Have I ever talked about that?
You have, yes.
Have
I remember you telling me, but I can't remember the details around it.
It was, it's quite boring. It was a like a post-operative painkiller, but they developed like a nasal spray version of it. And yeah, so they were just testing that. So it was something they already knew wasn't dangerous. It was just, if we spray this up your nose, how much of it ends up in your bloodstream? So you just take a dose of it, and then they just take like blood samples every half an hour for a few hours.
How much? What we talking?
Yeah. What's a bunch?
I think I got like 700 quid.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Sign
good.
me up.
So there was like
Yeah,
2 sessions,
tempted.
and you had to stay over the night before so they could start.
I got a night stay as well.
6
Bloody
a.m.
hell.
Free
Great.
food.
Oh.
And I was next to this guy Sam, who at the time he was a DJ, and he was like, and it was really nice because I was still doing my degree, so we were chatting about well, sorry.
He's also a compulsive liar. Fucking
Well, no,
DJ.
this is what's funny about it. So yeah, we chatted about like sound production and stuff back when I knew anything about that stuff and since forgot it all. Yeah, he's like famous now. Well, not famous, but he tours the world and plays like sets and stuff. He's Sam Binger, his name is.
Bingo.
He would turn out to be Tiesto.
But yeah, he was really sound, and sort of found him, and he's like, oh shit, he's like kind of famous, and was like posting stuff like condemning the shitty riots that have been going on and stuff, and you're just like, oh good, he's sound, he definitely is sound. Yeah, it's nice.
Decent.
Cool. Is that it?
I might do a clinical trial. Get some
Yeah, you
extra
meet some nice
bunts in.
people. We met this one guy who was a total prick. and was like flirting with the nurses and stuff, and I had to like tell him to fucking leave him alone.
That actually was Tiesto.
It was. I told him to leave one of the nurses alone because he kept flirting with her, and then to get back on my good side.
He flirted with you.
He said, "Do you know what, Sean? You're great because you're like a protector of women."
He's calling you a white knight. Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
No,
wasn't
not white knighting.
he was being sincere. He was like trying to be nice to like, because he could tell I thought he was a prick, and it was
There
just
we go.
fucking painful.
I would suggest "Protector of Women" as the episode title. But
Yeah,
I don't know
Might
how
come
that
off as
plays.
insincere.
I don't think so.
You're right, James.
That's a t-shirt, though. You're right. That's a t-shirt. Sean Bell, Protector of Women. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Come on, balcony, get on that.
Because the thing with men who are really good protectors of women is that they go around saying it,
Yeah,
and that's how you know
on a
you
t-shirt.
can trust them.
Sell it on a t-shirt for profit.
Yeah. God, do you remember when there'd be men with like "this is what a male feminist looks like" t-shirt? I mean, I'm sure many of them meant well, but fucking hell.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, we can stop now.
Yeah, where were we?
Send it. Socials, Matt.
Yes, we stream on Twitch. We stream twitch.tv/TCGS and if you miss our streams live, you can go to YouTube and watch most of them when they go up as VODs after the stream. If you've got Amazon Prime or Twitch, if you've got Amazon Prime and a Twitch account, connect your accounts and you get a free monthly sub and go to our channel because we really appreciate it if you went to and gave us a free monthly sub. Sorry.
What are you laughing at?
What are you laughing at?
I just forgot something else. We're on Patreon, which is patreon.com/TCGS. If you want to support what we're doing over here, get exclusive monthly bonus podcasts, talks overs, anything else we're doing over there. That's patreon.com/TCGS if I didn't already say it. And the website is tcgs.co. And on Friday morning at 9 a.m, the store will be refreshed with a whole new load of stuff. And that's going to be at tcgs.co/store. So go over there.
OG t-shirt. Get yourself an OG t-shirt. That's it. That's me done for a couple of weeks.
Can we do a t-shirt that says "this is what a male feminist looks like," but it's just a picture of James's face again?
Sure, why not?
It's tempting, yeah.
I'm done for a couple of weeks, so enjoy
Yeah.
the golden era.
Yeah,
Oh,
Golden
yeah,
Era's
it's
back.
return.
The golden era is returning. Who have you got on someone on for next week?
I think next
So-
week it's just the three of us, right? And then we're going to try and get a guest in for the week after.
All
Is that the
right.
plan?
Yep. It's a surprise, actually, Sean. We've already
Surprise to
sorted
us
it. It's
and
a
the audience.
surprise.
And I'm
Phil-
hosting next week. That's right, yeah.
If you want, yeah.
Feel free to skip next week's show. We will catch you next time. We love you. Goodbye.
It's all right.
Goodbye.
Thanks for living it.